Okay. Hi, everyone. This is a really big day, and it took an extraordinary amount of effort to get here. And I'm just really happy that we're all here together. First of all, I'd like to start out with some appreciation. It's really important to remember that ministry of this size involves many hands and many hearts. So I want to first, of course, thank the Ascended Masters, the Archangels, and the Angels for gathering us all together and assisting us with so many moving parts for this special day. And I'd also like to offer a huge thank you to our angel team. Every single member of our team has gone so above and beyond in preparation for you and I to connect with Mary and Magdalene today. So thank you for being loving and appreciative and kind and generous to them as they respond to your emails and any questions that you have on social media, because there is going to be such a lot of questions and responses following this transmission. And we are a small but mighty team. And if you could just remember that we love you, you're important to us, and we will be following up with you, that will really help us be able to serve everyone in a really good way. So big gratitude and thanks to all of my Magdalene sisters on the Sophia Dragon Tribe team. Your angel wings out for you. I would love to welcome to the Angel Global Summit. We have able to appear live right now, but it is the good news that we have about 1,300 people that have enrolled in today's incredible summit. And so when you have a number of that size, of that amount of Earth Angels coming together, both live and in the replay, what we are doing is not only are we upgrading our personal DNA, we are upgrading the DNA of all of humanity, and we are partnering with the planet to assist her in her ascension, her Earth Angel ascension. She's literally the Earth, her angelic mission here in the cosmos as well. So this is a really big day here at the beginning of 2019, and gathering together like this as an international community. And I'm just so excited and happy that we're here doing this together at this time. 2018 was a very powerful year of initiations. And so we're in that wonderful transition place between the end of 2018. We just passed through this incredible eclipse portal, and we're about to begin with the Chinese New Year in a couple of weeks. And for me, this time of the year has always been that in-between twilight place where the veils are thinner, a lot of cleanup is happening on everything that you've accomplished in the previous year, and the doors are opening to all of your potential and what is possible in the new year. And so we have so many exciting things to talk about how you can deepen in your own ministry and joining us in this angelic mission that we are all a part of to activate the sovereign divinity of humanity through the Sophia Code movement. And I'm going to be sharing a lot about that after our ceremony. What we're going to walk through in today's ceremony are multiple activations from Mary Magdalene, the Order of Magdalena, the Star Nations, the Sophia Dragons. And what are they all activating us with? Well, they're activating us with the consciousness of Sophia God, Holy Mother, Holy Father God. If you are new to this container, I'd just like to remind everyone on this on this call that all names of God are welcome here. If you pray to God as the Holy Father, that is welcome here. If you pray to God as the Mother, that is welcome here. If you pray to God as just, or talk to God as simply your source or your own divinity, that is absolutely welcome here. But what you're going to hear a lot is me calling God Sophia, because 10 years ago I had an experience in which I was taken into the light. There was nothing happening. There was no hallucinogenics involved, or it wasn't a death experience. I had had plenty of death experiences in my early life. it was just time for me to meet with God. And all of physical reality melted down, and I was sitting in the light with this presence, this voice that spoke out through the light. And she said, I am the one divine mother, creatrix of all life. My name is Sophia. Are you listening? And in that moment, my entire paradigm shifted. I mean, how could it not? But I had been so unconsciously resistant of the divine feminine in my life. And I really, this is a big part of what you and I are being initiated into with Mary Magdalene this year. We are choosing to no longer hate ourselves for the beauty of the divine feminine within us and within one another. And that includes men, that includes non-binary individuals. The divine feminine, that term, divine feminine Christ consciousness, represents principles, rays of the consciousness of God that carry specific frequencies such as magnetism, receptivity, beauty, elegance, grace, multidimensionality, the ability to multitask, the ability to live consciously in multiple dimensions, consciously and simultaneously and with great presence. When we're talking about the divine feminine, we're talking about our greatest, most expansive and unlimited potential to birth, create, and nurture anything that we put our minds and our hearts to. The divine masculine principles that exist again within all genders and people who do not identify with one gender, these principles exist within us as well. And the divine masculine principles are here to support, protect, and serve these divine feminine principles, birthing and creating a new world. So they're both needed. They're both equally holy and perfect, and they complement each other in such a way that the alchemy that arises when we allow for the divine masculine within us to serve the divine feminine of our mystery, our mystery, the mysteries within us, but also the ministry of the divine feminine mysteries within us. What happens is that we are able to step into the totality of our sovereign divinity and become the fullness of our humanity. The divine feminine movement is a human movement. It's a movement towards sovereignty. It's a movement towards breaking the shackles of the ideas that religions have taught us over centuries, that we have to placate to God outside of us to somehow make up for some sinful nature. And that is just simply not true. There's nothing sinful about you. You may have learning experiences where you behave in a way that you wish you didn't, but even that is perfect. Even that is somehow woven into not just your own evolution, but everybody else's evolution simultaneously. And so when we invite the presence of Mary Magdalene and the entire order of Magdalena into ceremony with us, what we're saying is, I am ready to accept the totality of my divinity and nothing less than that. I will no longer bow my head in shame for being beautiful, talented, gifted, directly connected to God, intuitive, psychic, loving, brilliant, shiny. It's like all of those qualities exist within each and every one of us. And yet so much about our current patriarchal paradigm on this planet is built to crush that divine feminine spirit within us. So if we want to reconcile with how humanity needs to heal over the next 10 to 20 years so that we can truly usher in this golden age, what we need to get real with is that there isn't a healing without the reconciliation with the divine feminine first, principles within us. And then as we activate and allow ourselves to blossom, radiate, lifting our wings up and saying, this is who we are. This is who we are in our totality. From that space, then we get to decide how the divine masculine within us is going to serve that brilliance and guide us in how to work together as one. because the dark aspect of the wounded aspect of the feminine, not divine feminine, but the wounded aspect of the feminine, is for us to splinter. And it's for us to be jealous of each other or compete with one another, when the truth is we don't have the luxury of being jealous or competing with each other anymore. We need to work together, like worker bees for Sophia. We have a great mission ahead of us. And all of the great divine feminine masters always work together in their community and as a team with one another. They understood that many, many hands and many hearts were required for the prayer that God is praying over each and every one of us to be answered through us. So there is no one I can think of that's more perfect of a role model for us this year than our divine feminine ascended master mentor, beautiful Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene was unapologetically a superstar in her lifetime. As many of you have read about in chapter 10, she was absolutely a creative genius. She was stunningly physically gorgeous. She off the charts psychic. She was an incredible oracle, and not just oracle of like the easy realms. She was an oracle of Sekhmet, Kali Ma. These are radical, as well as Dakini energies, radical streams of consciousness that go right into the heart of darkness and blast the darkness open with fierce love and light, with truth, authentic truth, courage, faith. Mary Magdalene embodied a divine feminine Christ consciousness that held the bar here and asked everyone to raise up to that bar with her. She refused to drop down from that bar. And one of her best friends was Jesus, and she taught side by side with him at a time where she could have been stoned to death for speaking in publicly the way that she was. She was so adept to her magi training, her mystery school training. The crystalline light that poured through her was so pure that literally the fabric of reality would shift as soon as she would walk into a room or into a field. People became almost spellbound by the invitation that she was embodying for us to go within and access the very best of us, the very best of our true selves, which is our divinity. We behave badly when we do not believe we are divine. We crouch over ourselves and we shake with shame when we believe that we are not, when we believe we've missed out on being divine. And when the wings of Mary Magdalene arrived, both in her lifetime on earth and here right now in this ceremony, the power of her sacred heart and the power of her wings peel back the layers, those dark layers of our illusions. And we all have them. They very often, they're very unconscious. There's many, many layers to wounding. We are clearing so many wounds from so many lifetimes right now. But when she walks into the room as your spiritual guide and mentor, literally, it's like layer after layer of darkness can no longer abide. It just begins to peel back. And she's so patient and generous in her mentorship. She can walk you through with great compassion all of the steps that are required for you to not only receive her healing, but then to take action and to step into more of your true self. So when we're mentoring with Mary Magdalene, you're going to feel after a while, just like with Isis was a huge mentor for Mary Magdalene. You're going to feel as though you're continually invited to be a way shower for others, because that's what Mary Magdalene embodied her entire life. Even from childhood, she was training for her role as master teacher by Jesus' side. Children were started their training by the age of 3 in ancient mystery schools, and that was no exception for Mary Magdalene. She was raised in a very spiritually oriented family that was not afraid to, in the privacy of their own home, worship the divine feminine within themselves. So she had been preparing her whole life for her role in her ministry. And When you invoke Mary Magdalene as a mentor, you're invoking that same presence within yourself to begin to awaken, to walk with pride, but in who you are, but not in an egotistical way, in a way of understanding that how worthy you are of who you are, which then humbles you to understand that everyone has been given that same level of sovereign divinity, and you are here to mirror back to them that same message that Mary Magdalene is mirroring to you in all of her beauty and all of her grace. So which way do you want me to go? You want me to talk about that first? Okay. So this is an interesting moment in humanity's history. Mary Magdalene is sharing with me that it's important to talk about the angelic war that we are actually in the middle of on this planet. There are many things that can be said about what this planet is and who this planet is. And depending on someone's perspective, it can all be true. But what I do want to share about this planet, which is so evident, if you just take some time and drop in with it, is that Sophia Gaia, which is the oversoul of this earth, is a magnificent divine feminine Christ soul. And her manifestation of this planet is considered a jewel in the multiverse, in the cosmos. To attempt to explain how God feels about this planet, how Sophia feels about this planet, it's almost impossible to describe, but I'm sending you that feeling from my heart. It would be like the most devoted love affair, like that goes on for centuries and pound centuries. It is truly a relationship of the beloved and the friend, as Rumi would talk about. And what's so interesting about Sophia Gaia is that she's so powerful, as we learn about in Green Tara's chapter, that she allows for all of these species to come and learn about their ascension, learn about their personal evolution while living here within her body, because the entire ecosystem is literally the body of Sophia Gaia. We are currently, as we all know, facing multiple global crises in our ecosystem right now. Half of the world's species no longer are with us. That's as recent as 20 years ago. Right up to like this week as we watch the Arctic meltdown. We are living at a time of geoengineering, little to no monitoring of how artificial intelligence is being developed, little to no monitoring of how nanotechnology and genetic mutations are, perpetuated genetic mutations, as well as transhumanism is being developed. Technology and the organic fabric of our humanity there's a very clear agenda for that to merge as quickly as possible. And there's literally an entire war against humanity, and how with weather engineering and disasters that are taking out entire towns, populations, engineered viruses being spread all over the world. Don't want to be a downer, but this is a really real time. Okay. This is the time where we decide, okay, I get it. I'm here to enjoy my life, but I cannot not become involved. So, not to mention what's driving that behind the scenes. And it's a lot of black magic, satanic ritual that is literally interwoven into the fabric of every major national government on this planet. We also have the issue that because there's free will here on this planet, many, many species can be here. Many species that you don't usually see with your eyes, but they are cohabitating on this planet with us. both within the planet and on the surface of the planet. Ultimately, this planet is so beautiful and has so many resources. There has been a very powerful war that has been going on for centuries over how these resources, how the beauty of this planet, as well as how humanity is going to evolve for quite some time. And we've reached here at this moment, we've reached a pinnacle point of polarity where the darkness has never been darker, and yet the light is growing so bright simultaneously. Why would I start off this ceremony with that kind of a conversation? Because it's essential to understand, if you really want to mentor with ascended masters such as Mary Magdalene, they are aware of these huge, massive global crises that are happening every moment of every day, because they're constantly working in the higher realms to help as many light workers as possible make a difference here, so that we can step outside of the need for such an extreme polarity to wake us up. If you ask yourself again and again, why is there so much evil in this world? Why is there so much darkness? How could God allow this? Sophia God gave us free will. That is the only way to know how unconditionally loved you are. If Sophia God made you a robot, there's no way you could actually have a two-way line of communication, of communion with your divinity. There's no way that you could actually eventually wake up and understand that you are God in human flesh. So often in our Christian traditional theology, the thought of we're taught that angels have no free will, and that's simply not true. Every being that Sophia has created has been given free will. Why would she do it any otherwise? That wouldn't be an all-loving, unconditionally loving source, God. So that free will piece is so huge here, because it means there's anything goes here. And with that said, it also means when you decide to open your eyes and open your ears, you identify, whoa, what a place to step into my mastery. What an extraordinary school in this universe to flex my muscles and see how much my angel wings can make it, see exactly what the medicine of my angel wings can do in a world such as this. And so for centuries, we've explored the oppression of patriarchal darkness upon our divine feminine faculties, so that those pressurized confrontations and oppression literally creates a boiling point where you finally bust out and you say, enough. I realized that I'm meant to be as powerful, as beautiful, as gifted, as talented, as intelligent as I really am. Not only that, I need to go do something amazing with it. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. I've got things to do. I've got new solutions to birth. I've got places to be on this planet to bring the most love, the most consciousness, the most fun. Get out of my way, darkness. But so often we're conditioned to cower from the darkness. Oh, I don't know if I can handle talking about what's really going on with that, with rape, trafficking, or geoengineering. And it's just like, if you're approaching it from Christ consciousness, which is, thank you, darkness, for initiating me into the totality of my leadership and how I came here to shine the greatest light amidst the greatest darkness. From that space, your wings lift up and you identify, finally, eventually you'll identify, oh my God, I'm part of the reason why the darkness is here, because I needed it as my teacher. So a big part of this ceremony is, are you ready to step into your leadership without the darkness putting a boot on your neck to do so? Are you ready to step into your brilliance and open your wings this year without the darkness pinning you to the wall to frighten the heck out of you to see if those angel wings are going to pop out? You see where I'm going here? We've got to take the X factor of being oppressed or punished for who we are out of the equation so that we can step into the elegant equation of divine feminine Christ leadership that shines just because it's a get to, so that we can just get over it and get into it. This is the get to. This is what I came here to share. The end of our attachments to suffering. Now, if you're expecting, humanity to understand where you're going with that, chances are good most of them won't. But what did Jesus teach? Jesus taught that you're here to share the message of that good news with the people that are ready to hear it, the people that want to receive the medicine of your angelic light without the attachments to having it be a struggle with darkness. It's just really amazing to me how unconsciously addicted we are to the drama of darkness. We've been so entrained to marvel at it through our entertainment and social media. But there is nothing more spellbinding for me than the light of our divinity, the light of Sophia God, because anything and everything arises from it. And we've been gifted this incredible ability to weave that light into whatever we want. When you begin to accept that you are an earth angel, that you've come here to weave, to tend to nurture, and to literally birth out of your body and parent a new paradigm of solutions and creations, containers of consciousness, all of that drama becomes increasingly dull, like a dull, weird background noise, and then eventually it just disappears. You'll usually start to identify this when you crave certain foods or certain media, certain music, even certain ways that you dress or treat your body start to simply fade away, because you're far more curious about what your light within you and the light of divinity wants to create through you. So a lot of what's being perpetuated from against humanity and against this planet, it's important for everyone to know that this global war of annihilation and rape consciousness that has infested this planet is actually beginning in different dimensional realities first. A lot of those dimensional doorways are open through satanic rituals, black magic, Luciferian agendas. Decisions are made. And then those decisions and those rituals and those entities and beings in those higher realms, then all of those things download into this physical reality. Just like your body is the last stop for your soul when incarnating in a world of form, you've got all these light bodies, light body, light body, light body, light body, and then finally that final light body materializes as your physical form that's still interfacing with all these other light bodies in your auric field and beyond. So it's the same concept where all of these decisions are being perpetuated and made in different dimensional realities and then literally downloaded as actions for different world leaders and the people that serve them and the whole system that's set up to then follow through in those orders from those different realms. I don't usually quote the Bible, but I'm going to read this Bible verse because it actually speaks about this war in a very clear way. It says, this is from Ephesians 6:10 through 20. It says, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the darkness schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil that exist in higher realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all of this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of evil. Take upon the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Holy Spirit, which is the word of God." Now, everybody knows in this call, I'm not some Bible thumping Jesus person. I love Jesus, but I am not a traditional Christian. But I remember reading that verse when I was a child, because the only book I was allowed to read as a child was the Bible. And that verse stuck with me for years, because as many of you know, I've been psychically open since I was a child, and I'm seeing the ability to see angels, see different light beings, as well as demons, and how those demons were influencing the people that raped and tortured me for 18 years. So in that journey, I had a firsthand understanding that there was so much more going on than just these humans that were perpetuating terrible acts upon myself and other children that were in the same program that I was in. It was so evident that there were many layers of reality that were interfacing to get away with the crimes that they were getting away with. And so this is why a lot of victims of certain rape, trafficking, as well as military programs are other than the PTSD, can't remember what happened to them. It's because a lot of the things that happen in another dimensional reality, set on that course through magic, and then they're pushed back out of the dimensional doorway after that ritual is done. And it's as though they don't have any memory of it at all, because it happened in a different dimensional reality that still exists on this earth plane. This is really important for us to understand, that you didn't come here just to be human. Humanity is the amazing suit you get to wear, but you are actually a divine being. And as I've shared in many Facebook's lives recently, your divinity has many rays of consciousness. And one of those rays of consciousness is the angelic ray. And your angelic ray wants to be activated this year in a really big way through your humanity. So let's talk a little bit more about that angelic ray. Many people don't realize that they have the angelic ray within them. It's within all of us, especially those who have chosen to be conscious light workers across space and time. I don't think anybody's on this call that's not that. I don't even know if that would even be possible. So you and I chose to be here on a very specific mission, that we were going to remember that we actually did have the technology of angel wings that we could open out of the back of our heart chakra and keep lifted up as a transmission of grace wherever we go. We also knew that this angelic ray of our own divinity was going to activate and begin to operate our human awareness in new ways, especially at this juncture, at this time, so that we could begin to interface with humanity in such a way where we remembered, oh, my angelic medicine can make a difference here. Oh, actually, the words that I'm here to speak with courage about the depth of how much these dark agendas want to manipulate the minds of humanity, I'm going to strengthen my mind. I'm going to have faith in my direct communion with Sophia God. I'm going to choose to consciously mentor with Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Masters instead of tuning out, numbing out, dumbing out. I'm going to choose the radical choice of conscious sobriety. And when I use that word sobriety, I'm not talking about drinking or drugs, although eventually, if you get on the path of Sophia Christ consciousness, eventually anything other than God consciousness is it's the only thing that'll get you really high, to be honest, eventually. It's a journey. But eventually everything begins to fall away, because you realize there's nothing more crystalline, more activating than the consciousness of your own divinity pouring through you, that wants to do amazing things on this planet with amazing people that want to work with you and network with you. Because when light workers come together with this conscious understanding that they are actually angels and they can work wing to wing together, not only that, but that your wings connect you to angelic realms that make hard look and feel easy, then you start to tune into what Sophia is teaching us about in the Sophia Code, that you're a sovereign creator. You're a sovereign creator or creatrix of reality. And the angelic ray is the ray that really initiates us into the understanding of how much it really is our responsibility to create what it is that we're praying for with one another. But if you're in a polarized war within yourself about who you really are, if you think it's okay to hide from yourself and others that you're actually a living angel in human form, that you're carrying this consciousness, you're literally taking in the war outside of you and you're continuing that inside of you. The war outside of us is really a mirror for us of how humanity feels about itself. So for people who are innately attuned to the angelic ray of divinity, which everyone here is, or you wouldn't be here, there is one of the biggest healing journeys with that is the wounded healer and unworthiness. Angels are so, the angelic ray is so kind and it's so generous and it's so proactively helpful. And it's also so disarming to the darkness that very often earth angels can be abused, neglected, abandoned, and verbally or physically attacked for being that bright, and especially in childhood. And then we begin to internalize the punisher that maybe it's not safe to be the angels that we are. But this is the year that you've got to let that go, because the war that's raging outside of us cannot stop unless we come to peace with who we are inside of us. The best way that I know how to make peace with who I am is to practice being who I am. And I'm inviting you into that same space this year. Practice using your angel wings to create what you really want to create in your life and for others this year. Practice raising out your wings and feeling how they are continually guiding you intuitively in every moment through your divine feminine intuition of how they can be directed and used next. When you tap into the angelic ray, you're tapping into the ray within yourself that's not lazy. There's nothing lazy about the angelic ray. There are literally millions upon millions of angels that are continually working day and night for the multiverse to keep spinning in its perfection, for us to keep having this experience of evolution. But we are at a global crisis point now, this juncture where, okay, how many more centuries are we gonna put our big girl pants on and our big boy pants on and say, oh, I'm a part of the solution? It's time. It's time to no longer be confused or conflicted about who I am. It's time to let it shine. It's time to let it rip. And this isn't about being confrontational with the darkness, as I'm hearing with Mother Mary Magdalene coming in right now. She's saying, it's really important to remember that if you try to directly push and fight against these dark agendas without coming to it from this consciousness above. So those realms that are perpetuating, here's, you could picture, here's the earth plane. Then those higher realms where the astral wars are happening between the dark and the light, they're just a few layers above the physical reality. Sophia Christ consciousness exists so far beyond that. What you need to do as an earth angel is approach the global crises that we are facing as angels, both together as a collective, first of all, because we need to work together on this. Nobody needs to be the lone wolf or the Messiah figure, because there's just no such thing in this age. We're tapping into this field of consciousness that Sophia is, that it contains all of the divine solutions that want to be birthed here on earth, like the Sophia Code. The Sophia Code did not come from these realms here. A lot of people channel here, right above the earth plane. The Sophia Code came directly from the source. It came directly from Sophia's light. And that's why it makes such a huge impact upon humanity. It's coming directly from the light of Sophia God. And that, when you pull from there and then channel and bring those solutions or those behaviors or those new ideas or new way to commune with others, and then you filter it down here back to earth, that's when you can talk about things like such as, you know, chipping and geoengineering wars and, you know, rape trafficking from a place that's approachable. You know, it's just like, we have to, not only is it approachable, but it's effective, because we need new languages to address and call out the darkness that doesn't suck us back into the confrontation that the human mind, the human ego is so entrained to simply react. Oh, I see children being raped and I want to freak out about it. And it's just like, I get it. I was one of those kids. But the reason why so many people look to me as a mentor and a guide is because that's not how I'm having this conversation. Does it mean I'm not feeling my feelings? Absolutely not. It simply means that I understand that to address a subject matter of that much darkness, I can't push people away with how I'm presenting advocacy for such an important topic. And can you feel like that crystalline frequency that Mary Magdalene and Sophia God are inviting each of us into, that will provide? This is why divine feminine Christ leadership is such an immaculate form of leading, because what it does is it attunes you to your communion with Sophia to speak through your tongue, just as that Bible verse in Ephesians spoke, to be able to see clearly the darkness and be able to download instantly, how do I speak to this darkness in this moment? That literally honors its teachings and then moves it out of the way effectively, without me getting trapped into some tit-to-tat with a demon. You know, if you're relying on your own human awareness to do that, you 50-50 how it's going to go down. You might end up with some whiplash just because they don't like to play fair. But if you're approaching these conversations with other light workers and within yourself about how you want to see changes happen, and you go directly to Sophia and you say, Sophia, just that prayer of the divine feminine Christ that we receive in chapter 1 of the Sophia Code, divine mother of all life, take me to that place deep within your womb where I can know nothing and be reborn anew. What happens when you're reborn anew? What happens if you don't have to know everything? It means you're available for the download of what really needs to be spoken and said directly from the source. And the source is always going to know what wants to be honored, what wants to be respected, and what wants to be cleared through the highest pathway of love. Does this mean that you won't end up saying fiery things in your lifetime as a leader, as a way shower? Absolutely not. Sometimes the fire of God will pour through you. We have divine feminine Christ mentors such as Mary Magdalene and Isis and Green Tara to show us that that's very safe if it's directed by a higher source, your higher self in communion with Sophia God. If it's coming from some lower chakra wounded place, forget it. You're going to alienate people and you're right back in that astral war that so many of the patriarchal entities want to keep you locked into. So not only do we need to do our divine feminine reconciliation and healing with Sophia here, downloading into this earth plane, we also need to do our creating and our advocacy from this consciousness downloading here on earth. How does that affect the results? It affects the results in the sense that you become invincible. This is how people, great advocates, well, it's hard to think of some that want some that, I guess it's, I was thinking of some examples that weren't killed for being this level of advocates, but there's a lot of them. But, and actually, you know, to be honest, so have I. I had multiple death experiences in my childhood. They weren't near-death experiences, they were death experiences. So we're living in a different age. And the message where that goes is, if you truly seek to be this level of an advocate for change on earth, if you're downloading it from that place will keep you invincible and safe, especially if that's your prayer and your dharma to live. And I think we need to understand that that's our right. I think a lot of times when it happens, Jesus is an exception in that sense, because he consciously walked right into that and he did not need to do any of that. He chose that in a big way. I was just thinking about Martin Luther King and different people like that. It's important to keep your eyes on the prize, that just like how that Bible verse said, that it's absolutely imperative that you are meditating upon your direct relationship with the source every day. And when you fill yourself with that light, that invincible light is what's speaking through you, guiding you and keeping you safe and clear in your ministry as an angel on earth. It's also leading you to golden realities where it's beyond just keeping you safe. It's initiating and inviting you into how to create even beyond whether you're safe or not, how to create in a space of thriving. But so many of us have been involved in freeing the world of this war for so many lifetimes. A big part is the healing first, and then the moving into the creation piece. So let's drop in with these blessings from Mary Magdalene. She's saying she knows that for some of you new to this work, this is a lot to talk about. And for those of you who have been with me been along on this journey with myself and the Sophia Dragon Tribe, thank you for going even deeper with me today and really acknowledging what's going on here as light workers. The good news that we want to share with you is that you're so blessed and you're so protected, and you're actually so prepared to step in and to work with us as a living angel on earth. And not only and part of that reason why we're so protected at this time is because we're really more conscious than we've ever been. The Sophia Code is literally training us to be consciously awake in multiple dimensions simultaneously. This is what we were being trained in the ancient mystery schools. How awake and clear can you access and be conscious of all of the different dimensional realities that are existing side by side and influencing one another? If you accept and reconcile with your divine feminine Christ intuition and your psychic faculties, which everyone's been blessed with, if you really allow yourself to heal the patriarchal wounding that keeps you from being in that communion, what happens is you become very aware of the dimensions where those decisions are being made that affect the earth plane. And then you get to put your wings up and have your Joan of Arc sword with you, and you get to have a really fun time working with all the angels and all the archangels and all the ascended masters and all of your family of light and deciding, I don't think I want that on this planet anymore. I'm going to pray about this. I'm going to do an invocation here. I'm going to take back my own right to do divine light magic that rearranges and reorganizes reality. Yeah, I see y'all using your black magic. Here's my Sophia magic. Here's my Sophia dragon magic. How you like me now? It's like, do you want to cower, or do you want to create? Cower, create. Oh boy, creation. Oh my God, so unlimited, so powerful. Such our prayer in 2019. And I'm so grateful to the Sophia Dragon Tribe and to Mary Magdalene and Isis for creating this modern mystery school that as soon as you crack open the Sophia Code, you are stepping into a cosmology that's been directly downloaded from the seventh plane that your consciousness begins to be upgraded by the more you interface with it, especially as you go deeper into the curriculums and all the things that we've downloaded as blueprints to support you as the earth angel that you are, and that you and how you deserve to be supported, to come into the full remembrance of how powerful you are and how much you did come here to co-create with your family of light and to birth in this new paradigm. We're going to do a clearing. We're going to do an invocation clearing right now to get everybody upgraded with Mary Magdalene and the Sophia Dragon Tribe for this year. Thank you for receiving the message. Beyond the advocacy regarding this war, there is the creation of heaven on earth that you and I have a lot to look forward to this year. And so that is where our prayer is guiding us as living angels on earth. And if you think about just one time that you prayed that your guardian angels would help you with something that felt really, really hard, and then boom, a solution just sort of mysteriously unfolded in a flurry of synchronicities. What you're learning how to do right now is become that same angel that literally can download through prayer, through communion, through your confidence and worthiness to know that you have been given this gift to command reality into another version of itself. this is your year to practice that, to embody it, and to help others embody that truth in an entirely new way. So let's begin. Holy Mother, Sophia Source, thank you so much for your presence that exists within every single person on this call. Thank you so much that you are both our Holy Mother, creatrix of all life, and you are also that same consciousness that envelops the Holy Father, that protects and sustains all life, working together as one source. We speak into your Holy Spirit that descends into the planetary matrices of form to incarnate as each of us here in this call. And we ask for your Holy Spirit that's been given as a measure to each and every one of us as our own higher self to now fall fresh upon us. That one Shekinah light descending over this container, over the sanctuary, and over everyone's crown chakra with these beautiful white wings of peace. Peace that passeth all understanding. And with that peace, I see, Sophia, descending over each and every one of us, this growing awareness that it's actually exciting to take on an angelic mission of this magnitude. When we stop being so terrified by it, we begin to realize what a privilege it is. And so thank you for opening the eyes and ears of our inner being to witness that you are initiating us into a much greater understanding of how magnificent we really are as living angels on earth. And that we are the doorkeepers, I'm hearing from Sophia. We are the doorkeepers, the gateway keepers we are here to initiate humanity into this golden age of miracles. But the golden age of miracles isn't downloaded from thinking about it. There's also this incredible divinely guided actions that we need to take together, working together as the one body of Sophia Christ. And so at this time, Sophia, I'm asking you to bless, as well as the Sophia Dragon Tribe, every single individual on today's call with the understanding of how worthy they are, how worthy we are to be gatekeepers to humanity's evolution, gatekeepers to a new heavenly reality on earth. Sophia, Holy Mother, Holy Father, God, thank you for opening the gates of our minds to soften and relax into how powerful and magnificent we really are. At this time, I call forth the fullness of the Sophia Dragon Tribe, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of ascended masters that work as a collective in this high council, who are exceptional teachers on how to embody our sovereign divinity and how to command miracles and nurture and tend to our creations that are birthed through our sovereign divinity. In particular, Holy Mother Sophia God, in this introductory volume of your Divine Feminine Christ Codex, the Sophia Code, you have revealed 8 key codes that are currently initiating humanity to embody this growing awareness of how multidimensional we are, so that we can end this war and allow and call and be able to truly anchor your heaven on earth reality here on earth. Your consciousness here on earth, which is heaven. You literally are all things that are of heaven. And we literally are the walking temples that are here to anchor that level of peace and glory and creative genius here on earth. So we call forth these 8 key codes that you have given to us as Master Golden Dragon teachers of our highest potential, and we welcome beautiful Isis, she of 1,000 names, key code 1, joining us in this ceremonial activation. We now welcome key code 2, Hathor, she of 1,000 voices from the Sophia Code. And Hathor is also arriving with the beautiful order of angels called the Ophimine, that ascended as the Hathor Star Nation. I'm also welcoming beautiful green Tara, key code 3 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 stars. Green Tara is arriving in attendance with the Order of Dakinis, which is her angelic order of divine feminine Buddhas that radically alter our consciousness to accept the truth of our divinity. And I welcome beautiful key code 4, Mother Mary, she of 1,000 roses. And she is arriving in attendance with Archangel Michael today. We now welcome our the Lady of the Hour, beautiful key code 5, she of 1,000 angels, Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene is arriving in all of her glory with the Ascended Master Jesus and the entire Order of Magdalena. The Order of Magdalena are high priests and high priestesses, magi's from across the centuries, individuals who have incarnated lifetime after lifetime to bring the angelic light of Sophia God into the darkest places of this universe, planetary matrices that are evolving through extreme polarities. You may feel or witness them arriving, and they usually arrive with like these hooded cloaks over their head. Very often it's the same color as this red velvet, or more, even more maroon. Sometimes they even wear black cloaks. Don't be afraid if you see the black. It's literally a way that it's a cloaking that allows for them to walk through dimensional realities without their massive angelic light being seen, so that they can do things behind the scenes. So um, um, but what's so beautiful for this particular ceremony, as they come in and fill the ceremony with their presence, they are, each of them are members of the Sophia Dragon tribe, but they have their own unique order within that, and they are taking off their priests and priestesses hoods. Excuse me. And as they do, their beautiful golden white wings, some of them have other colored wings, are popping out from behind the cloak, and they're all standing straight up. And you may begin to hear the sounds of angels singing, because we're calling in so many divine beings at once, that whenever that happens, all of reality begins to sing in gratitude. So you may begin to feel in your cells of your body the songs and sounds of Sophia blessing your consciousness in your body. I'm also welcoming in Kikud 6, Kuan Yin, she of 1,000 waters, and in attendance she arrives with Mahavatar Babaji. Welcoming in key code 7, white buffalo woman, she of 1,000 thunder beings and white clouds. And she arrives with the Syrian star nation known as the White Buffalo Star Nation. Finally, we welcome the Holy Seraphim, the angelic order. There are different formations of the seraphim, but the highest of that order is the Sophia dragons that are revealed in chapter 13 of the Sophia Code. And their Sophia title is, they are key code 777, she who births sovereign creators. Each of these key codes that are now in attendance represent arrangements of all the same divine qualities that exist within you. And how they're expressing those divine qualities is through their embodiment, is what's inspiring you to awaken these same divine qualities within you and to do something amazing with those divine qualities. You know, we adore Mary Magdalene, not of course because of the radiance of what she embodied, the power and the majesty of what she embodied, and her courage to survive so much persecution. But part of it, the reason why we know so much about her, is because of her great works. While she was living here on the earth, she left behind a legacy of love that we're just beginning to understand now as a human consciousness, our collective consciousness in humanity. Our legacies of love speak on our behalf far beyond our time here on earth. They continue the ministries of our hearts far beyond our presence in the physical. And so what the Sophia Dragons teach us is how to birth legacies of love through the spiritual jewels of our light bodies and our willingness, and all of our light bodies and our divine genome operating system working together as one, as a higher self embodiment. What is possible downloading directly from the Sophia source to birth into this world, and how to interface and interact with people in an entirely new way. And then what we have are these human masters that show us, okay, we understand these seraphim teachings are huge. And look, we in our human lives actually embodied those seraphim teachings. of Sophia God. It is possible. It is possible to not only follow the highest seraphim teachings in this universe, it's also possible to activate your own angelic DNA and to embody that ray of consciousness in your daily human life, just as Mary Magdalene did, just as Mother Mary did, just as Isis did. And so at this time, we welcome the presence of these beautiful divine feminine ascended masters who are assisting you and I to deeply reconcile with our wounding around all of our spiritual gifts so that we may finally access and use these spiritual gifts in a mighty way this year. And so at this time, the first activation that I'm seeing with Mary Magdalene, may begin to feel her hand on the back of your heart. And she is, she's speaking to you about your divine origin. Many of us feel much more comfortable from other places, our lifetimes, and our continued presence in other parts of the multiverse. That's often connected to the star nations. And so our first activation is to identify and remember that most orders of angels are actually ascended star nations that are in service to the ascension of other species. Very often, I'll never forget the first time I met my Pleiadian High Council. I almost fell on my face because they were so amazing, and yet they weren't human, but they were humanoid. And I didn't know if I didn't know what version of God I had met. And what I eventually came to understand, that was like so many years ago, was that these were ascended beings that were so far down their evolutionary path and so committed to serving the universe that they were literally fully embodying the full divine angelic light. So I didn't know if they were alien, like, I don't like the word aliens, but I'll use it for lack of better words, Star Nation beings, aliens, or angels. And then I came to understand, oh my God, they're the same thing. Many orders of angels are ascended civilizations that are working for our highest and best good. Because what you understand when you evolve over eons of time is that there's nothing higher to do than create new worlds and then serve them. Serve the evolution of the one body of Sophia Christ. We are here on a human mission, but we are also here on a galactic mission. This is an interstellar mystery. Let there be no mystery about it. This is an interstellar ministry. I don't know why those two words keep overlapping. It's so funny. The Sophia Code is absolutely addressing humanity's evolution, but ultimately it's a blueprint for addressing the ascension of all beings in the cosmos. It's an interstellar ministry. All of these ascended masters, you know, as they're serving you, they're serving many other species as well, both on this planet and on others. And you are wakening up, you are awakening now as an earth angel to the understanding that you're a part of that same ministry. So at this time, Mary Magdalene is speaking a prayer and activation into your spine, right at the back of your heart. And this is to assist you in accepting and acknowledging that you have spiritual DNA from other cultures across this universe that is very useful for you at this time, in this lifetime. And you may begin to feel a light language download happening through your crown chakra, all the way down through the center of your head, through the back of your throat, into the back of your heart. And I invite you to witness those symbols of light language now begin to circulate through your blood. And as these symbols begin to circulate through your body, through your blood, through the back of your heart, into your bone marrow, we ask and invite your higher self, along with Mary Magdalene, to flip the switches of your divine genome, the crystalline chromosomes that interface with your carbon-based DNA, to begin to relay the information like an RNA messenger about your starseed lineage and how it is necessary now for the places in this universe that you are connected to now become more embodied in your human body this year. Welcoming those crystalline upgrades If you feel your carbon-based DNA fighting that upgrade, I now also welcome Ascended Master Jesus to assist Mary Magdalene in both the reconciliation and the empowerment happening simultaneously. I'm hearing from some of the people in this call that it might not be safe to be the fullness of your Star Nation angelic higher self here in human form. And if you want that reality to come true, I'm sure this world could provide that experience for you. Or you can get over it and get into it and bust through those walls in your carbon-based DNA and allow the love to come in. This is that moment, that divine intervention of grace. You may feel that a palladium blue energy from Jesus's fingers going right across the fabric of your soul, cleansing out with a holy blue flame fire, so that you can then feel the stardust of your true soul lineage beginning to infuse with your bone marrow, beginning to rebuild the layers of the cell membrane within every cell of your body. In fact, I'm now witnessing Isis coming in to activate the master cell of your body that communicates to every cell in your body that you are ready to anchor that crystalline stardust angelic light within every cell of your body that comes from that part of the universe that you are most familiar with, most excited about, most passionate about, and beginning to feel your chakras adjusting and integrating as you allow yourself the space that it's safe to become this expanded in your DNA. I'm witnessing this Sir Fael, which is the chief of the order of the Seraphim, the Sophia dragons. They are, how do I say it? They spiral around each other as like a perfect DNA helix at the center of Sophia's Sacred Heart, and in witnessing them singing to support this integration within your human body. And I'm witnessing Hathor coming in to support Mary Magdalene. As Mary Magdalene steps in front of your third eye, Mary Magdalene is standing to your right, and her angel, her angelic order, the Hathor Star Nation, is surrounding you as well now. And Hathor is beginning to sing these light language codes over you that she used in her mystery school when she walked the earth, as Mary Magdalene is literally activating your third eye chakra right now. And as she does, you may begin to feel a weight drop out of your third eye through the center of your spine and out through your root chakra. And Mother Earth is opening up her big dragon jaws and let it just drop. It's like a dragon snack. Just let that heaviness go. What's being cleared right now by Mary Magdalene is the filters that you've placed on yourself, so that you wouldn't be able to see yourself clearly as a truly incarnated star being earth angel in human form. If you want to keep hiding, you should get off this call now, because we're just getting started. So just heads up. A lot of clearing happening here right now. Right. Okay, so Mary Magdalene is she's also placing this anointing oil over your third eye, and she's drawing a symbol across your forehead. Mother Mary is coming from behind, and she's doing that same rites of passage on the back of your third eye. Not only is you have a third eye in the front of your forehead, you have a corresponding chakra on the back of your head. So they're blessing the psychic center right now for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's you. You couldn't have found the Sophia Code otherwise. You are one who sees beyond the veil of physical reality, which is quite thin, actually. And so this blessing, this Magdalene blessing, is for you to be able to, it's like an X-ray vision blessing to, I'm hearing from Mary Magdalene, the eye of discernment. Very, very powerful. In ancient Egypt, the eye of Ra was actually considered the fierce, divine, feminine aspect of God. In the Egyptian cosmology, it was actually the divine feminine principle that protected the male pharaoh, as represented by Sekhmet and Hathor in her passion. And so there's also an eye of Ra transmission happening simultaneously, which is activating the discernment of your third eye. I'm also hearing Mother Mary and Kuan Yin coming around to bless your heart and your womb center. And this is to assist with childhood wounding that would cause for you to stay stuck in certain childhood traumas, in which you may have given over your power of discernment or ability to speak up on behalf of something that was wrong. And if that's been carried into this moment across your lifetime, this is that moment with Mother Mary and Kuan Yin's blessing, that those hardened places are being softened to release, so that you can truly heal up those final steps of whatever wants to be healed, so that in this year, so that you can truly not just see with your discernment, you can speak with discernment. And so each of us are receiving an activation over our tongues. And you may feel that activation literally pouring down your throat as well, and activating your throat chakra. Joan of Arc is appearing from the Sophia Dragon Tribe. She's part of the Order of Magdalene in the Sophia Code. And Joan of Arc is working with Mary Magdalene on the sides of your throat and the back of your throat. Isis is simultaneously upgrading the medulla oblongata, and you may feel things being removed out of the back of your head. And Joan of Arc is placing her sword down the center of your spine. You might begin to feel yourself sit up a little taller. Mary Magdalene is speaking into your ears and connecting your ears with your throat, so that each of us can feel more confident and worthy of channeling what needs to be clearly spoken this year in your light work, in your ministry. At this time, I'm witnessing a parallel life clearing across many lifetimes for everyone in this call, that has to do with trauma around lower level connections, lower level entity connections to star nations that are not in your highest best good. If people have been kidnapped, abused by entities that are not of this planet, we are now clearing that out with White Buffalo Woman and Mary Magdalene and the entire Order of Magdalena. And we're reinstating your divine right to be able to have direct contact with your star families and your guides from ascended civilizations that are actually working for your highest and best good and all of our highest and best good. Mary Magdalene is saying that this year there's going to be a lot more quote unquote disclosure about what different views of reality, about what star nations or aliens or whatever mean this year. And it's important for you to have an established connection to your own star family to be able to navigate with discernment what is a projected viral belief system or agenda versus what's actually really true about your guides and your angels and your lineage. Everything in this patriarchal society is designed to turn your eyes away from the truth of your sovereign divinity. The greatest gift that you can give yourself this year is to say, I'm never looking away again. I'm choosing to accept my angelic DNA. I'm choosing to accept my direct connection to those beings that are supporting me from other parts of this universe that help with my ministry. And I'm choosing to connect with and support and be in communion with other earth angels that are just as activated as I am. And working together as one and receiving the benefit of no longer allowing the patriarchy to tear you down in your own mind. You're here to flex your wings and build yourself up in your own mind first, and then be a part of building everyone else up in their minds as well. Ultimately, what's happening right now is a battle for the mind and the heart. But the mind can be very distracted. The mind can be tricked so easily. The heart never really lies. The mind, though. And so at this time, I'm witnessing Maha Avatar Babaji, and I'm also seeing the appearance of Lord Buddha stepping forward with Mary Magdalene, Grandmother Anna, Mother Mary, creating this beautiful sacred formation around each and every one of us to bless our mental bodies, our minds, to be impervious to agendas of lies and mind control on this planet, which is so prevalent in music and movies and media. I'm not saying don't watch movies or not listen to your music, just be aware, especially music and movies being created right now over the past 3 years, loaded with satanic ritual iconography and programming. Just be aware. Listen with the eyes that hear in the inner soul. Watch with the eyes that can see beyond the layers. Bring your light into those spaces and places wherever you go. Isis and Mary Magdalene are now moving to the front of your body. For our women on this call, or those who, this is really a womb, physical womb, like sexual organ clearing and cleansing for women for individuals carrying womb technology in their body. So for those of you who do not identify with that or are male, if you could create the space at this moment to join us in the physical womb matrix healing of those women on this call. I'm witnessing many cords being cut to toxic relationships, to viruses and diseases that were never meant to be a part of our reality. And I'm witnessing a lot of like sexual transmitted diseases and like fibroids, endometriosis. Let's all picture a big, beautiful cauldron with Mary Magdalene, Isis, and let's place the energy of these painful attachments to suffering for our divine feminine Christ truth. Let's place that in the cauldron. And the Sophia dragons are breathing this beautiful violet flame fire over the cauldron. You may begin to feel this physical sensation of things leaving your root chakra, your ovaries, your womb. And for the men on our call, or those who identify with being a man, I'm witnessing the same as all of this is clearing from the women on our call, that there is there's this same just as powerful healing and cleansing, releasing the shame that you may be carrying for the patriarchal agenda that's perpetuated this against women. If you're not participating in that agenda, you don't have to apologize for it. The best thing is for you to embody the divine masculine Christ principles that that are here to change this world, just as Jesus and Buddha and Mahavatar Babaji and Saint Germain have done for us across the centuries. Don't waste time being ashamed of who you are. Get busy being who you came here to be. Let that shame go into the cauldron as well. And Mary Magdalene and Isis are now stepping around to the back of your body. And there are many of us on this call that need a lower back clearing. And what this clearing is connected to is for you to feel deeply supported this year in your relationships, in your community, in your ministry, in your businesses. How can you become more authentic and share and be more vulnerable with what's really going on with you so that people can actually understand how to interface with you in more loving and supportive ways? How can you commit in this moment with Mary Magdalene and Isis working on your lower back to actually communicating in advance what's really happening with you, what you really need support with, so that you don't have to blow up on people when it gets to a tipping point because you've gone too far without the support you need? feeling a intensity on your lower back, cleansing and clearing, while Hathor activates your tongue to be able to communicate in a new way. This you're deepen in your ability to articulate the inner reality that's real for you. Because every time you articulate what you need to be supported in as an earth angel, you are healing the silencing of the divine feminine. The divine feminine knows through her feelings what she really needs. I saw this picture the other day of this metal cage that was placed on the heads of women in the 1600s by their husbands when their husbands were, you know, done with hearing them say anything. And it was such a symbol of what we're transmuting right now. Every time you are able to clearly communicate, this is how I feel, this is what I need, how can we work together to achieve that? You are literally dissolving those kind of structures that have been placed on women, on the divine feminine within all of us for centuries. If something like this was used on you in another lifetime or in this lifetime, because that was definitely used on me in this lifetime as a child, I invite Kuan Yin and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene to create a trinity of healing around you now to feel the cleansing and clearing of any apparatuses that were used for mind control or to silence you. And where those structures may have been placed, I invite you to feel angel wings sprouting out from all different parts of your body that allow you to feel the lightness of your true being and the blessed nature of your divinity, seeking to express what your humanity really needs to fulfill your purpose. Now let's take several deep breaths together. And you may feel this. Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary are at your feet. They're blessing your feet. Or you may begin to feel these blue flames that begin to literally spiral up and around you. They're building and building and building, so that what these blue flames are doing, they're aligning you with the blue ray of willingness to come into communion and alignment with divine will, creating through you. Sounds awesome. Actually takes a lot of effort in the sense of staying true to that prayer. When the prayer is praying you are simultaneously releasing all of your resistances and self-sabotaging tendencies as you come into alignment with fulfilling divine will. So this is a blessing of spiritual maturity that's descending over each and every one of us. You can still have a temper tantrum. You don't have to always like your divine purpose and how much it's asking you to grow and be vulnerable and be seen and as a way shower. Nobody in this container is saying you don't have to feel your feelings. We're just asking you to still show up with your feelings. That's what we came here to do. You get to have all your feelings and you still get to show up. What happens with the blue flame transmission and what's going to happen all year long is you're going to discover every time you show up to your ministry beyond your hard feelings about it, eventually you'll get to the other side of what you accomplished, and you'll identify how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, how you're a much bigger person, how many lives were changed because you still said yes and followed through, how blessed you are. You get to be this person. Like, really big deal. To be a living angel on earth. And as these flames rise up, you may feel your angel wings just begin to soak in, drink in these beautiful blue flames. They're not hot flames. They feel different because they come from heaven. not to say that there aren't hot flames in heaven, but these are simultaneously, they're like lightning. They are hot, but they're also cooling at the same time. And I invite you to, for those of you who are on this call that have done these activations with me before and your angel wings are already up and out, what I invite you to do is allow those blue flames to purify your wings of any resistances of your wings being seen this year in new ways. And you may begin to feel the lightning going through each of the feathers of your wings. And there's a victory wreath that's being placed on your head by Mary Magdalene. It's like your laurels, your victorious laurels. I'm seeing everybody on the call being as well upgraded in their light bodies. There's like it's almost like a Star Nation jumpsuit that a lot of people are receiving right now. It's almost like your Earth Angel uniform. It's really cool looking. Don't worry, it's not boring or distasteful in any way. We want everyone to look good. As we just get to do that. It's part of the fun. But yeah, your galactic jumpsuits being given to you by Mary Magdalene. And you may feel this, got it, thank you. I invite you to feel your beautiful angel wings connecting all the way to the stars that your soul is originally from. Yeah. You didn't know your angel wings could go up that high? Oh wow, they go on forever. For those of you who are like, I don't know where my angel wings are. This is the first time I've ever met you, Kaia. Hello, how do I pop my wings out? I would like for those of us on the call that already have your wings out to please support and welcome our new community members in this call to experiencing their angel wings. So let's walk through that together. Here's how you start. I invite you to begin to breathe at the back of your heart chakra. So the back of your heart, mid-back, and tune into your beautiful, you have shoulder blades. And your shoulder blades, funny enough, look like wings. And I invite you to breathe into that space. And Mary Magdalene is bringing she's anointing those shoulder blades for you. And you're going to begin to feel feathers begin to pop out of the back of your shoulder blades. And we invoke your higher self. Everyone's been given a higher self. Everybody is equally sovereign and divine. And your higher self is that divine energy that creates your human body. And I invite your higher self consciousness to begin to open up the back of your heart so that your wings can start to peel out and unfurl. Oh, you can see some of your wings coming out. It's brand new. They may even look like wet baby wings that just came out of a dragon shell, eggshell. Yeah, and just allowing those wings, they might feel floppy when they first come out. They may have been hidden back there for quite some time. We're removing any chains or obstructions, psychic blocks that may have been placed upon your wings. So you're just totally safe here with Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary guiding this process. And then what you want to do, you can even move your shoulders back, like do some shoulder shrugs back. And as you do that, begin to flex the wing muscles that connect into the back of your heart. And I invite you to lift your wings up, straight up to the sky. Just how all the other earth angels on this call are doing it right now. They're lifting their wings all the way up to their stars, the stars that they come from. And you can too. Maybe you just want to lift your wings up to the sun today. You could do that. Just feeling how the feathers are unfolding. And notice that it's a delicious weight on the back of your heart. It's not a heavy, burdensome, stressed out weight where you think you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's this weight of muscle. It's a get to. It's like, oh, I get to have these wings. This is really powerful. But where could I fly with these wings? What could I do with these wings? Please be curious. There's no limit to what you can do with these wings. And Mary Magdalene, so okay, she's Blessing for those of you who are opening up your wings for the first time. She's saying, we understand that it feels vulnerable and this might be um, emotionally jarring to actually come out of the closet as a living angel on earth, but she's assuring you that you're safe and you're being guided in this moment and in every moment following as to how your life is going to improve because you're no longer hiding who you really are. Okay, so now that we all have our, do we have everyone? I see you all the way back in the back of the temple. Please join us. You're so worthy to be here. Can we all bring some love to the souls that are hiding out in the back here of the container? We love you so much. You are worthy to be here. You wouldn't have been called into this space without you. I mean, if it were not so. There we go. There we go. Let's wrap some angel wings around our members in our community who need a little extra support right now around this activation. Use that activation on your third eye to witness what I'm witnessing. Tune in to see the souls who need some extra love with their angel wings. Yeah, this is called psychic multidimensional ministry. Game on. All right. That's way better. Thanks, angels. I'm witnessing everybody in the sanctuary that's on this call right now feeling welcomed and worthy of this much divine love. Okay, so let's just make sure we encourage all of our community members to bring your wings out. Yeah, that's the thing about being in the presence of God. Nobody can hide. You can't hide in the presence of God, nor would you want to. Come into the warmth of the light. Come into the warmth of love. Come home to your family of light. It's where you belong. We've been ostracized and alienated from one another for way too long. Why? Because when we work together as a team, we're unstoppable. That's why. So you're doing the whole world a favor by letting us love you and guide you as you open up your wings. There you go. Yeah, there it is. Awesome. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Okay. Now that we all have our angel wings up on this call, amazing. Let's step into that sacred, let's visualize a temple space that we're already there. We're in the Temple of Sophia right now, but I invite your imagination to unfurl. You are now in a beautiful white marble temple. There are beautiful white marble pillars. They have living, breathing veins of gold. You may hear or feel the presence of angels singing over you, and of course, all the ascended masters surrounding you. But what's most important for you to feel right now is the presence of your other earth angel friends that are currently in human form. And feel your wings touching other people's wings, like just wing to wing, almost like a high five of your angel wings. Feeling how we can all be in this space together with our wings up, supporting each other's wings to stay up. Great. Now, in the center of this temple is the light of Sophia, breathing, pulsing, radiating, moving, blessing, activating. And at this time, Mary Magdalene is standing at the center of this temple. Her heart is radiating with this diamond light rays coming out, and her diamond light rays are literally radiating out into every direction, from the back of her heart, the front of her heart. It's as though her diamond light is everywhere. And her diamond light is activating your angel wings as antennas to Sophia God. That's what they are. But she's now activating your awareness to remember that's what your angel wings are for. It's a part of your ascension spiritual technology to deepen in your ability to clearly hear the divine guidance that you need, especially for this year. Mary Magdalene is blessing you with this diamond light activation so that she's saying that you are always in the right place at the right time this year. Very important with a global war happening, that you're always in the right place at the right time for your ministry, for your family, for your community, and for your own human body. It is decreed by the Sophia Dragon Tribe that every single person connected to this ceremony, listening to this call, is going to be divinely guided and kept safe no matter what global changes happen, no matter what's happening in the outer world, that every earth angel on this call is accounted for, cared for, and blessed, set upon the highest path of empowerment, blessings, and to thrive in this year ahead as a living angel on earth. Further, each of our wings are now being attuned to the direct communion guidance of Sophia God, both as the divine feminine Christ and divine masculine Christ principles within us, guiding us to make very clear decisions through our discernment and through our inspiration to succeed this year as angels on earth. That these downloads of information that are so readily available to each and every one of us can now be live streamed through your angel wings every day, 24 hours a day, all year long. For those of you who are blocking this activation, totally okay for yourself. It's absolutely okay to not want to take in this much light, but it's probably in your highest and best good to say yes. The easiest thing that we could do for you right now is we're also going to send out an emerald ray of healing, and Kuan Yin stepping in to assist those who are afraid to receive this much direct communion with God. I'm hearing from Mary Magdalene that we're going to do a blessing over some of our community members that have been deeply traumatized by the Catholic or traditional Christian church, which outright claims that only Jesus has a direct line to God or Mother Mary, and that is not true. And there isn't a single ascended master on this council that believes that. The Sophia Code ministry is to activate your direct divine communion with your source, with your higher self. There's nothing more powerful that you can do, because everything that you need, everything that you want, everything that you need to know about in this year and beyond comes from that source. And so feeling the presence of Sophia radiating through this temple, working through Mary Magdalene's embodiment of Key Code 5 to activate all of these principles of Key Code 5 within you for your greatest success this year. As this is happening, notice that this is happening not just you with Mary Magdalene, it's happening with you in a room with countless other light workers receiving the same blessing simultaneously. And Mary Magdalene is inviting you to open your heart and your eyes, that what you are experiencing in this temple space in the highest realms of creation can be your reality here on earth. So not only can we receive like antennas, our direct communion with Sophia God deepens, we can point our wings and direct this energy anywhere we want it to go. So as a community in this temple of Sophia in the seventh plane, I invite you to direct your wings downward towards your human self on earth, and send like lightning and rainbows and soft spring rain and starlight. Bless your human body with your awareness that this heavenly reality can one day at a time, one loving step at a time, unfold as your physical reality now here on earth. You want to talk about a revolution? Create a life that you're actually really stoked on, super happy about, passionate for, totally tuned into, because it's so exciting that you just wouldn't want to miss a moment of your blessed life. Use your angel wings to bless your current physical reality so that the quantum timeline for this next year is going to unfold perfectly for that prayer to be answered in mysterious and miraculous ways in your mentorship with Mary Magdalene. Finally, Mary Magdalene is coming directly to you. She's walking across the temple, just like she does in her initiation in the Sophia Code. And she's carrying with her a beautiful Ankh of life. And she's placing this Ankh on your lips. And you may begin to hear the sound of bees buzzing, or you may hear birds singing. This is a Kundalini activation. It's a cosmic Kundalini activation that can be that can soften and help integrate the fire of your physical kundalini on the earth plane. This is a water path activation. And it's descending from the Temple of Sophia down to your physical human form. And you may begin to feel a transfer where the old, almost like an old bodysuit of who you were before the ceremony, is being lifted up and dissolved in the seventh plane as this Ankh of life resurrection activation is downloading from the Temple of Sophia over your current physical human body. It's like it's integrating and sealing these energies so that your physical body can take the quantum leap after this call to begin the process of living from this space without any hitch on your giddy up. Mary Magdalene is saying that you may experience very suddenly certain people leaving your life after the ceremony that maybe you couldn't see clearly were taking advantage of you, or it just the relationship dynamics were just no longer serving you, and out of duty or a sense of responsibility you've been somehow maintaining on some level these relationships that no longer serve you. She's saying trust the process, trust the gift. Lightning brings rain. Lightning changes can bring the rains that grow you a new life. Mary Magdalene is saying that she is always with you. She'll be mentoring your ability to see and your ability to speak in your leadership this year in ways that will feel foreign at first, but you will be able to trust impeccably the more you surrender into the process. There are many topics she's saying that each and every one of us have very near and dear to our hearts that we want to discuss and dialogue about as a part of our advocacy. She said, invoke her first, and she will guide you on how to speak on behalf of the causes that you believe in. You can maintain this crystalline consciousness. And part of her activation is, and this is a prayer that I personally say all of the time, so I suppose it's a blessing from both of us. And that prayer is, make me absolutely invisible to my enemies and make me very visible to those who are here to serve my highest and best good and who are here to receive my ministry. You can be absolutely invisible to what would appear to be your enemies. Ultimately, no one is an enemy in the highest planes of reality. But in this very polarized dualistic world, it's absolutely imperative that we practice discernment and through our creatrix creator self and declare, yeah, I just don't even need to be seen by people who hate me. It just doesn't even have to be a thing that I wrestle with. We often wrestle with the fear of people attacking or hating us in our ministry because we have a deep, profound fear from other lifetimes that that's what's going to happen anyway. So then we recreate it by making ourselves visible to, by not declaring that prayer. You're just letting whatever's going to happen. Don't let whatever happen. Be like Mary Magdalene, and as we read about in her chapter in the Sophia Code, and choose what's going to happen. Set the intention, make the prayer. Send angels ahead of you and behind you and above you every day to support your angelic embodiment on earth. Be visible to those who are going to appreciate, honor, and respect you. Be willing to be invisible to those people who just want to abuse you. Be willing. Be willing to be that much of a master this year. Mary Magdalene will be mentoring you in your ability to accept that much self-love in the months and weeks and days to come. She's offering a blessing over every one of us for our ability to communicate, write, and speak the good news of the Sophia Code in this year to come. And she's saying, for those of you who are going deeper with this ministry, which we'll share about more after the ceremony, she said she is going to be personally overseeing how you will be sharing about the Sophia Code with your communities and your clients in this year to come, which is actually helping me feel really safe and excited about it too. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is such an exciting moment for this ministry and for our international community. So we're definitely coming up to that space that it's time to integrate and move into our next portion of this call. And so we welcome the fullness of Sophia God's Holy Spirit presence falling fresh upon us just as we began this call. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. And we command through the power of our collective I am presence that these transmissions and activations from beloved Mary Magdalene are now being integrated in your body, in your emotional body, and in your mental body, and in your spiritual causal bodies on all 4 levels of your being now. Welcoming in the masters to do 0-point calibrations for these activations across all space and time. And we welcome for you to explore, and we invite you to explore what it would feel like to allow for this crystalline, this very high frequency of Sophia Christ consciousness to descend through your body and to be stored in your sacral chakra and your root chakra. It's very important to ground right now. We thank the Sophia Dragon Tribe, beautiful Mary Magdalene, all of our key codes. Thank you, Isis. Thank you, Hathor. Thank you, Green Tara. Thank you, Mother Mary. Thank you to the Order of Magdalena. Thank you to the Hathor Star Nation. Thank you to the Order of Dakinis. Thank you, Kuan Yin. Thank you, Mahavatar Babaji. Thank you, White Buffalo Woman. Thank you to the White Buffalo Star Nation. They're incredible spirits. Thank you to the Holy Seraphim, the Sophia Dragons. Thank you to all the orders of angels, both the Star Nation angels and the angels that were created to tend to the throne of Sophia God, for your blessings and your activations over each and every one of us. We now seal these activations in the light and fire of our own Holy Spirit as we command, it is done, it is done, it is done. By the power of 3, a perfect Trinity, it is done. So it is. So we're going to move into our Q&A portion, and I'm going to do my best to do this technology thing. And let's see. All right, so I'm going to go here.
Hi, Kaia, can you hear me?
Hi, Kim. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh my God. Yes.
That
God. Oh my God.
was a powerful transmission that needed a pause for a moment.
I guess so. Okay, so we're good on the sound.
Yeah, the sound sounds wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Sorry about that.
Let me check in. I think I'm still a participant because I can't. Yeah, Kai, will you make sure to move me to a panelist? That way I'll be able to see people's questions.
Got it.
Yeah,
Working?
wonderful.
Okay, great.
Yeah, here we
Perfect.
are.
Okay.
Wonderful. Whew.
Hmm.
And I'm getting a note from the team. They can hear both of us, so
Okay, great.
everything is good.
Okay.
Good. Do you want to move into a couple questions before we talk about the offerings, or would you like? Where do you want to step to next?
Well, I would really love some support and guidance around that because that was a lot to channel that.
Yeah. Do you need a moment to take a breath and ground yourself?
No, I just need help. I know that there's a lot to do on this call, and I just need your
Yeah.
help to guide me with what the earthly realm
Needs.
information, how to best proceed from this point forward. Be so
I
great to
feel
help with that.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel we should let's do 3 questions
Okay,
and then walk back into what's happening this year, and then we'll fold back in with everybody and
great.
answer as many questions as we can.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So I know. Let me. I just wanted to say this to everybody. You've got in your Zoom dashboard there should be a little Q&A icon, and you can type in a question there. I'll just take a few moments to look at the questions. Sometimes they're similar, and I'll make an amalgam of a question. But let's dive in here and see what people are asking.
Great. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. Oh, this is a beautiful place to start. Um, honest. Oh, wow. There's so many coming in. It just flew away. 1 second. Honest Asia. She says, I would love to know how to raise my vibration and energy when I'm feeling dark, depressed, or lower dense vibration. Thank you. That's a great question.
That is such a great question that we can all relate to, myself included. Um, so when you are in a really dark moment, do not expect yourself to go from the depths of despair or whatever other version of darkness that you may be feeling to the heights of heaven. Because if you expect yourself to make that kind of a swing all of the time, you're not actually respecting the human journey that you're on. So the first step is to accept that you're going to have hard feelings in your earthly journey. And that in Kuan Yin teaches us in the Sophia Code that if you refuse yourself or reject yourself for feeling those feelings, is you're going to make them 1,000 times more uncomfortable and unbearable to experience. So a lot of times our really dark spaces are guiding us to our greatest healing or our greatest empowerment. Even when we feel deep victimhood feelings, it's a huge red flag of, oh my God, you're getting closer to your empowerment. And it doesn't feel that way when you're, shaking in a corner or crying on your couch, but it is actually what's happening. It's the invitation to go deeper within yourself. So the first step in raising your vibration is self-compassion. It's applying the medicine, your own angelic medicine, your own wings, and wrapping yourself in them and just saying, baby, whatever you feel, you go ahead and feel it. You're okay. You're not feeling anything wrong here. What is here to be felt is here to be felt. We don't even have to make sense of it because that's not the divine feminine way. The divine feminine approach is, let's just take this one step at a time. Let's love ourselves through each step. And so as you begin to embrace yourself, it's like, I have so much compassion for you. You can have all those hateful thoughts if you want to. I'm here for you. I'm here. That's the number one thing we want to know in those dark moments. Is anybody there for us? Yes or no, depending on the situation. But are you there for you? Do you have your own back? Are you a good parent to yourself? A lot of mastery is divine parenting of your human self. It's saying, I've got you, babes. You are not alone. And I had to learn this in a very hard way, because I spent half of my life really, truly alone. Surviving some horrific things. So I know about those dark spaces. And the number one place to start is the embrace of yourself. And then the next step is not to reach for the height of heaven. The next step is to just reach for the kindest thought that you can muster for yourself, or even the thought of reaching out for help, just praying the prayer of, you know what, God, I got nothing right now. Sophia, all I feel is hatred or anger or despair. Please help me. Are you placating to a God outside of yourself when you pray that? Absolutely not, because Sophia is within you as well. She's all around you. So when you pray that prayer, you're praying that to your own divinity. And yes, you are praying that to the totality of your Holy Mother that loves you so much and doesn't judge you for anything that you feel or think about anyone, no matter how hateful or angry or upset it might be. And so through that reaching like a candle flame, you know, that the reaching for one kind thought to yourself is like reaching for a candle flame in a dark room. But as you reach for the candle flame, your eyes, the pupils of your eyes begin to open wider. And that's the medicine of gratitude and appreciation, can actually pull you out of some of the darkest holes that you experience, because it's by default the divine nature of just appreciating yourself enough to reach for one kind thought for yourself opens the light up more. You begin to loosen your grip on the reality of the darkness, and you begin to soften to the presence of light expanding in your mind and in your heart. Does that mean you instantly stop feeling like crap? Absolutely not. But it does mean there's a softening. And so the prayer of self-mastery and living in our highest potential is softening to how much love that we can give ourselves through self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-parenting, that opens our heart to the possibility that this too will pass. We know what it's like to experience happiness. We even know what it's like to experience moments of joy or bliss. Those will be back. And that those dark, really dark moments, and Mary Magdalene is an exceptional mentor for that. My God, she went through hell in her life. She also went through heaven, but she definitely had major, intense moments of darkness in her life, such as when she had to flee to France and stay in the caves to remain safe. Those are our greatest invitations to direct communion with God. And a lot of us have unconscious fears that God is judging us for feeling angry or feeling sad or feeling depressed. And Sophia, God simply doesn't feel that way about you. And so anytime that you can soften and just have a kind thought to how much you are unconditionally loved, and you start there, what it does is it places your feet upon a quantum pathway where, okay, I put one foot in front of another. Now you're building a little bit of momentum towards more of what you want, which is to, number one, find out more insight about what is happening in that darkness. And number two, find some relief, some peace, and some guidance and direction about what's unfolding for you, and some more self-acceptance. So it doesn't have to happen all at once, nor often can it, because a really deep, dark hole is a completely different vibrational reality from the light of heaven, of heavenly, like the light of heaven. So you want to be really kind and gentle as you make that journey back again and again to the truth that you are unconditionally loved and accepted for who you are, which is the ultimate healing of all darkness. So did that answer the question? Kim?
It answered it really beautifully, and there were several people who wrote in while you were talking and appreciating your answer and the depth of it.
Okay, good. Thank you for
Yeah,
such a great question, Anastasia.
yeah. There are several questions that have come in about this, and I'm going to read Tracy's whole message to you, as I think it captures a lot of the energy I'm reading in many threads. So this is Tracy. This is my first time here in this community. Thank you for this activation. I've been awakening to the truth of who I am, which I am now understanding is light and love. It feels a bit presumptuous of me to say I feel as if I must be a starseed, but I guess I do. I've been working on listening to my inner beating. Thank goodness she's patient and following the signs. I was guided here and I almost didn't join, but was nudged again to do so. Her question, is it important for me to know my galactic family and who they are, or just concentrate on what I'm here to do? And there were several questions about people asking about connecting with their star family.
So great. Thanks, Kim. Okay, so the easiest way to soften into how worthy you are of your star family connection, your starseed connection, is to get inside your angel wings. Remember, your angel wings can act as antennas between this physical reality and the higher dimensional realities that your star family is guiding you from above. Well, we like to say from above, but really it's right beside you. But their dimensional frequency is higher. They're vibrating faster. Like everything's energy, and so your star family, they're vibrating super fast because they don't need to be physical. You're the one who chose on the team to be physical. You're the boots on the ground down here, but that doesn't mean you came down here by yourself. Your star family is right by your side, and the pathway into your interstellar DNA, the pathway with the least amount of resistance, because we all love angels. Who doesn't love an angel? I mean, wow, angels are just helpful and beautiful and kind, and just they make everything hard become easy. I mean, what is there not to love about an angel? And so it's the one aspect of our divinity that we actually have the least resistance to. So if you're able to spend time this year really dropping in with the presence of your own angelic wings, how your heart, we didn't talk about this in the activation, I talked about it in my previous Facebook Live with Isis, where if you keep your angel wings up and open, it maintains your heart chakra staying open as well. It's almost as though the wings pull your heart chakra open even wider than it was before. And so when your heart is that open because your wings are up and out and your wings are acting as antennas to the higher realms, what's going to naturally happen as you deepen in your journey as an earth angel being seen for your light? You're going to deepen your connection to the higher realms while your heart is being opened, maintained and open, which means that information you're downloading for others, you're simultaneously downloading it for yourself. So then you're going to soften to the awareness and grow in knowledge of how connected you are to the presence of your star family as a part of your ministry day to day. I love that you shared a concern about, oh, I don't know if this is okay to say this out loud, about, you know, if I'm claiming too much and I just got here. It's like, claim it, please. That is the medicine of the Sophia Code, is what are you here to claim immediately and start integrating. It's one thing to claim it. Now you've got to integrate it by living it. And that's why we created the curriculums, is because there's such a powerful pathway for learning how to truly embody your divinity, which sounds like a cool idea until you start doing it consciously, and you do start, you know, connecting with angels or the ascended masters or your star family, and then you start to freak out and you wonder, is this real, or am I good enough, or what am I going to do with this information, and oh my gosh, my whole life is changing so fast. It's like, that's what the curriculums are, to help, you know, hold your hands through that very vulnerable process of how much change happens when you decide to open up and activate your divine genome and mentor with a master such as Mary Magdalene. It's the beginning of the end of the beginning of everything. You know, it's just like, it flushes all of your small ideas out about yourself, and it invites you to embrace your power while simultaneously humbling us in a good way, not in some weird way. The more powerful we become, the irony is the more humble we become, because we realize that the only right use of our power is to serve the greatest good. So as you step into serving even more this year in your ministry, I would not be surprised if your connection with your star family grows and begins to influence how it is that you're sharing, the content that you're sharing or helping people with, the people that are drawn to you as clients or new community members. The Star Nation family connection has a funny way of rearranging your reality faster than you might ever planned on that happening, because your Star Nation family lives at a higher frequency. They're living at the speed of light. So they want you to catch up with them, because the sooner we merge realities, the sooner this whole world completely shifts. So yeah, enjoy, and thank you for accepting this much love and truth about yourself. We're so excited that you're here. Thanks for being brave enough to stay.
Thank you, Kaia. That was so profound, beautiful. And even though we were talking about the Star Nation, so very grounding with your answer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I really felt that. So there are several questions about people asking about, is there a diet that helps them be with this energy in a better way? And a couple of people who asked about how taking animals into us, eating animals plays into this. So yeah, I'm putting that forth for you to answer in whatever way you want.
I am so excited this question came up, Kim, because it's in my notes that I didn't actually get to. We had an activation, but may this activation be happening as I'm speaking on behalf of both myself and the Ascended Masters right now. Yeah, Mary Magdalene says she's going to offer this activation to those who are ready for it as I talk about it. Thank you. Thank you. So first of all, before I answer anything, I have to say the disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner. I cannot offer you medical advice about what you ingest in your body. But what I can share about is my own journey as an earth angel, walking this earth in human form in a patriarchal society that has conditioned us since birth about what we are supposed to or not supposed to put into our body. So I'm going to speak about my own personal journey, and then you can take from that what is right for you. Okay? That's how I'm going to get around that whole thing. All right. So, and of course, as directed by your healthcare practitioners and the people that you work with for your own safety and well-being. Okay, so I think it was in our last Q&A class for last year's curriculum. As many of you know, my beautiful, I'm really surprised it didn't happen today, but my beautiful companion, Rue, my gorgeous kitty companion who's been with me for years, she loves to teach, usually side by side with me, so I always put a chair out for her. Sometimes you'll see her face pop in on the video. And after the last Q&A, she telepathically communicated to me and she said, thank you for mentioning us, the animals, because we're here in this ministry with you. And, you could talk more about that, about what we're up to side by side with you. Not just me, but all of humanity. And, thanks for making that more real to other human beings. And she said, we really need to be acknowledged for the amount of light work that we're doing as well. And the reality is that our ascension journey is deeply supported and guided by the presence of other species that are just as powerful as we are, but are in such humble divine service to our evolutionary path, such as those beings in the animal kingdom. And so, and what's interesting with the Star Nation conversation is that a lot of the very highly evolved species that we look to, such as horses or great cats or the elephants or they come from enlightened civilizations in other parts of the multiverse, and you can see it in their eyes. You can see the depth of the teachings that they carry. And what I found for myself personally, I never enjoyed eating meat because of my connection to the animals. But with that said, there was a time in my life where sometimes eating that meat was really grounding for me with the level of PTSD that I was working through and surviving. I think there's reasons why we do what we do at different chapters in our life that do not necessarily mean they need to continue on in other chapters of your life. And about a year into, I had gone back and forth with vegetarianism throughout the year and years of the past 20 years. But a year before I finished the Sophia Code, I started to have a very strong desire to be vegetarian. Within about 6 months, I started working on becoming a vegan. And it wasn't something that could happen overnight. There's very specific things that the body needs to go through with cleansing and to make the shift over a period of time where your body isn't craving meat or dairy products because of what's stored in your liver. A lot of times the foods that we eat actually create cravings for more of those foods to be ingested when your body isn't even needing them. It's really weird. So a big part of what I think a lot of people are pointing to with this question is, I feel that something is happening to my body in this ascension journey, and I want to match the energies that are being downloaded into me. I want to match the frequency of this consciousness of Sophia within me. And the reality is that the consciousness of Sophia doesn't need to kill or eat carcasses of other beings to be the light that she is within us. She's simply that pure light. And the more that your consciousness shifts in ascension, you start to realize that your physical body is actually capable of eating, ingesting, and the light of God pouring through you. Does that mean I'm saying don't eat food? Well, there's people on this planet that don't and actually do it really well, such as Jasmuheen. I'm not saying be a breatharian, but what I am saying is that the more light that you download from your higher self into your body, the less you will crave eating meat. I think that's the best way to put it. The cravings will begin to subside because what you're going to start to crave is, how do I eat more light? And when you're eating meat, you're eating a dead carcass. That's not only it's a dead carcass, it's been prepared and like with heat, so that even whatever is alive in the meat is actually being destroyed as well through the heat process. So the phenomenon is that the more light that you ingest through embodying your higher self, the more that you want to ingest the light that comes directly from the sun, that's in plant-based foods. The more you're going to want to juice, the more you're going to want to stop eating white sugar, and you want to start to get your sugars from fruits, that's a healthy sugar for you. It's just what naturally happens. And for some people, it's really an ethical thing. I mean, one of the major global crises that we're facing is the destruction of food and the farming practices, the downright atrocious farming practices of the meat industry, and how the meat industry is driving ecological disasters. So, there's a lot that we're waking up to, and it's pretty natural that Earth Angels on this call, because we're all if you're on this call, you're at the leading edge of awakening consciousness out in the world. And so it's not surprising that you're feeling a draw towards vegetarianism or veganism. And what I would say is there's a lot of myths out there about how much the body needs meat. There are plenty of vegan bodybuilders out there that have muscles the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they do it with plant-based diets. I mean, look at elephants. All they do is eat grass, and they're nothing but muscle. We need to start to understand that maybe some of what we've been force fed in our culture might not apply to you. And especially for star seeds, what's interesting about the star seed spiritual makeup is very often you're probably craving vitamins and minerals from another place in the universe that you're hoping the meat can fulfill for you. And honestly, it can't. What you need to do is you need to pray over your food and ask your higher self to download the energetic principles of those vitamins and minerals that you are seeking to ingest from other parts of the universe in your food here on earth. I've personally gone on a very long journey with trying to live according to how this world wanted me to live with food. And what I found is that my heart and my body know what I really need and what I really want in every chapter of my life, and that it's up to me to follow what's right for me, as guided by my higher self and the Ascended Masters. And chances are good, if you're going to be mentoring with Ascended Masters, they will be eventually guiding you to a more vegetarian or even vegan lifestyle. And you're going to get to live, in such, it brings a lot of cleansing and clearing and health to your life. It can extend your lifespan, but at the same time, it can also create a crisis if you go too fast. If you've been eating lots of meat for most of your life, what I personally found was that I would taper off. I did it week by week, month by month, and then it's a natural process. And drinking purified water is a big part of that, to help cleanse the body of an excess of toxins that might be screaming out for meat, but it's not really the meat that your body's screaming for. It's the toxins that can build up from eating too much meat. So water, purified water, blessing your water, can be really helpful to help gain your perception, your discernment. Well, what am I really craving right now? Is this me? If it's me, okay, great. Apparently I need to eat a dish of salmon right now. Got it. Or is this toxins? And you can talk to your body and you can ask different angels to help you make those kind of decisions, so that you don't have to step into a spiritual crisis in your journey to vegetarianism or veganism. I hope that helps.
That does help a lot. So there are still a lot of questions coming in, but I wanted to bring up the giveaway.
Oh my God, there's the giveaway. Yes.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what's happening at the end of the call?
Oh yeah, we're giving away 2 Mary Magdalene pendants that I personally designed and personally oversaw the hand carving of them in Bali. And it's literally ascension. The Embody Your Sovereignty collection is literally angelic ascension technology that I downloaded from the Sophia Dragon Tribe for Earth Angels to live in the protection and grace of the living transmission embodied on your body. This jewelry interfaces with all of your light bodies and your physical body like a computer software program. It's unbelievable. I'm so excited. And the Mary Magdalene pendant is just exquisite. I mean, it's one of my most favorite designs because I had been looking for a cross of Carmague, which is the cross of southern France, for so long. And I found one, and it's pretty cool. But I was like, that's not the one. I want the one that's like the beefy Magdalene. I'm here on an Earth Angel mission, cross of Carmague. So I just had to design it myself. And it was such a joy and privilege to be able to do that. This is a truly blessed piece of ascension technology that's going to work with your angel wings, keeping your angel wings up and open. It's funny because the opening your angel wings teachings actually started to come through for me this summer, the importance of them, as I was designing this pendant. So this pendant is encoded with that awakening of how important it is to keep your angel wings up and open, as well as the truth of anchoring your starseed angelic light here on earth. That's what this technology is doing. It's supporting your physical body in that prayer and supporting your divine genome to build bridges of light to your carbon-based DNA, which then allows for you to be a living, walking, breathing temple of your angelic light wherever you go. This technology is going to support you in staying strong in that. And receiving a lot of success for your ministry, because as we all know, Mary Magdalene was a wildly prosperous and successful woman, and she was not afraid to use her success and her resources for what she believed in.
Thank you. I can't wait until we give them away.
Yeah. It's like the best
Yeah.
part.
Not just one, two, you know, you've got
I
two
know,
wings.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We want as many, our prayers for as many earth angels to be able to receive this technology, because I mean, I know how life changing it is. I can't go a day without wearing this jewelry, but we've had the same feedback come in from our initiates all over the world that have purchased the jewelry through the pre-launch. So yeah, I'm really excited to actually talk more about it with official launch for the jewelry line.
I really want to present all the people who've put in a question about, is there a curriculum for 2019?
Oh
How do I
yeah.
be of service? How do I um, learn more, do more, know more, and be with this energy? So I think that if you would walk into what this year is about, it feels like the right time to do that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thanks for your great questions, everyone. Okay, 2019. Whoa. We have this is the year. This is the one. This is the one. This is that year where if you have been on the fence about being seen as a way shower, as a leader, it's going to get really uncomfortable for you if you deny your leadership any longer. And I knew this was coming, and that's why we did last year's curriculum for Divine Feminine Christ Leadership, which is a very, very powerful series of new channel teachings that I downloaded that outlines the creatrix, the healer, and the teacher archetypes of Divine Feminine Christ Leadership. And with that said, it's a very activating body of work, and it really truly activates you the deepest level of your core. And it's not, it depends on where you're at in your life if you're really ready to be activated to that extent. And so this year, what the Ascended Masters showed me was, okay, we've done the year 1 curriculum, we've done the year 2 curriculum. Now we need this message of the Sophia Code to be, we need a blueprint for as many people, as many earth angels, to share specifically the blueprint of the Sophia Code as a living transmission of spiritual awakening for people all over the world. They've asked for there to be a structured way that earth angels can step into their own right as leaders, to activate others just as I activate others, but in a way that feels safe and supported and guided. And so we've created the Sophia Circle leadership program that we're going to be launching in May. So this is the pre-launch for that. And what it is you'll be upon certification, there is a certification process. You can enroll in the program, but you can't actually facilitate these circles until you're certified. But once you are certified, it allows for you to run in-person Sophia circles or even virtual Sophia circles. It gives you a structured class guideline of how each class needs to be shared and run, which provides a lot of safety and support for you as a facilitator and leader. So what this program is doing is it's allowing for you to walk people through a journey through the Sophia Code, chapter by chapter, with questions, altar building practices, deepening with the key code mentors. It allows for you to be advertising your circles and charging for them, because this is really the first step towards an ambassador program. And there's really nothing more important than us waking up humanity to the truth of its sovereign divinity. And the Sophia Code is literally it's an immaculate blueprint for awakening people's sovereign divinity. There are literally 8 initiations that line you up to literally take out the trash of karmic lifetimes and welcome in the truth of your divinity, as well as the power of your sovereignty, in such a divine, feminine, gentle approach. The living transmission of the codex is actually doing all the heavy lifting. So, which means for you as a facilitator, you get to experience the radical joy of working as a team with the Ascended Masters, walking people through this sacred text, knowing that you're receiving the blessing just as much first and foremost as you are inviting others to receive the blessing of this living transmission simultaneously. So what I love about this program is that once you complete year 1, or at least have access to the year one curriculum, and you're working through the material, you've read the Sophia Code, you're ready for this step. It's the next logical step. I mean, we get emails from people around the world every day that say, how do I share the Sophia Code in a good way? How do I do it in a way that honors your container and your ministry and your business? And it's like, this is the way. You want to honor what's been birthed through me as a movement, as a business, as a ministry. This is it. And this is how the 2019 certification is how we're going to activate the divine genome of humanity so fast, with so much fun. It's all going to be outlaid in it's going to be laid out in video classes, a whole series of video classes that will be pre-recorded, and then we're also going to have multiple ceremonies and live Q&A mentor sessions. So your hand is going to be held through the whole process. And we're just so excited to finally be here at this moment. When I first birthed the Sophia Code, it became an international bestseller in 4 days, and it's remained an international bestseller in all of its categories ever since, in every format. The outpouring of how viral it went and how much attention it got was almost traumatic for me to handle. It took a lot of courage for me to get through the past couple of years. And in that time frame, I downloaded 2 curriculums that's leading up to this certification program. And I had originally thought that the certification program would have come sooner, but it has come to my awareness over the past 2 years through the maturity that can only happen through time, that there were certain steps that needed to precede the certification program. And that was the year one curriculum. And for those who want to go beyond the Sophia Circle certification that we're doing this year, it will also be the year 2, because that's super essential for getting over yourself and getting into your divine light and being seen. We have so many unconscious resistances to being seen, that's what year 2 is all about. But this certification program can be done with the completion of the year one material. Even if you're still working through the year 1 material, the year 1 material actually becomes a resource and guide, an additional guide for how you're facilitating circles. So I just couldn't be more happy that this moment has finally arrived, and I couldn't be more grateful to our beautiful team of angels that are supporting me and this movement to expand in this way, so that we can offer you the opportunity to expand in your ministry and your light work through the Sophia Code movement. And with that, and also with that said, we have this amazing team. We've finally found brought all the beautiful angels together that are here to support a certification process to happen, because there will be a lot of questions that come up. We're going to have a private online forum for you, a membership site, and there's just going to be a lot of administrative work for the certification process. So we're finally in that place in our own growth here as a movement and as a business and a ministry, and I'm really excited for what's going to happen this year. It's going to be a beautifully abundant, prosperous ministry for everyone to be a part of, and to feel the grace of Sophia pouring through each and every one of us.
Kaia, thank you. It's such a big offering. So questions are coming in about it. People are asking if they need to take the foundational curriculum in order to be part of the certification.
Yes, there is one requirement. Excuse me. We called it the 2017 foundational curriculum originally, and it's now the year 1 curriculum. It's the same curriculum. We've just changed the name, and it's going to change one more time in about a month. That name is going to be turned into the Stargate 1 curriculum. So sorry for all the name changes, but it's all the same material. And so it is a requirement for the 2019 certification process. And we've actually added the year 1 curriculum into the package for the Temple 3 package that everyone will receive their offer for the certification process this year. So don't worry if you want to sign up for 2019 certification. The year 1 curriculum materials are included in that package.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about that is we'll be starting the real announcement, the non-secret announcement for the certification in May and starting in June. So everybody who comes in now, you've got half a year to dive so deeply into those foundational pieces, and Kaia created so much loving content. There's so much support for you. And what I got from the year one curriculum was such a deeper connection with all of the ascended masters. And that speaks to some of the questions that are coming through too. Just how do I go deeper? And that was really at the heart of what year one was about. And so you've brought up Temple Gate 3, which leads to the question of the other places for people to learn more who haven't done the curriculums. And I know you have a couple other offerings for people to learn more about the Sophia Code. Will you share about that?
I would love to. Thank you so much, Kim. So we
Yeah.
know that there are so many new people to this movement and this container on today's call. And we also know that we've been traveling with many of you for several years now, which has been such an honor and a privilege for me to be able to be a part of your journey. And so what we did for today's ceremony is we created 3 limited time offers to support everyone where they're different stages of where you're coming to this ceremony today. The first offering that we have is for the recordings of all the 8 key code initiations in section 2. So when you first read the book and you want to go deeper, it's really important to complete all 8 initiations in section 2 of the Sophia Code. Sometimes reading those initiations out loud is challenging because it brings up so much inner material to be present with. So what I did is I recorded those key code initiations in my own voice so that you can experience a living transmission, activating your divine genome in those initiations without having to effort beyond the resistances. And you can read more about that may arise while you're doing your initiatory process. You're opening the doors to these new mentor relationships with the Ascended Masters. So that's in our Temple 1 offering. It helps you kind of dip your toes into what's happening here. This is a true living modern mystery school container. And the first way to really attune yourself to the resonance and frequency of how powerful the Sophia Code is as a transmission is to walk through all of the key code initiation. So we've created this Temple 1 limited time offer package for you at a really generous price point for all 8 initiations. We also have the Meet Mother Mary guided meditation with music that I wrote behind the activation in the background. And then we also have a special coupon code for the Mary Magdalene pendant in honor of today's ceremony. So that's in the first temple offering. For those of you who have read the Sophia Code, have done the initiations, you've seen me talk about the curriculums on social media, and you are ready to go deeper with Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Master Mentors, the year 1 curriculum is what we're offering at the limited time offer. And it is an astounding body of work. I look back at that time in my life. I don't even know it was possible that I channeled that much that year. It's a curriculum that walks you so much deeper into the Sophia Code teachings, chapter by chapter. There's almost for each chapter, there's 2 classes per chapter, not every chapter, but almost all of them. And there's also I think like 5 bonus mentor Q&As that are each like 3 hours long. I mean, there's so much information in the year 1 curriculum. It's astounding, and it really walks you into how I work with altars, how that's changed my life, how my direct mentorship with the Ascended Masters can also be accessed in your own life, and bringing these ascension teachings into a very practical daily application. It's really important for me. It's like, so what if you can see dragons and fly in the higher realms, unless it's useful here in this reality. And so that's what year 1 is all about, is how do we make this modern mystery school applicable to creating greater success and peace and activation for the success of your daily human life. So that's the second temple offering. And it's also priced very generously, given that there's over 30 classes. And there, we also have an online forum on Facebook, and we're also building a private membership website right now. So you don't have to go through that curriculum alone. There's plenty of initiates that have graduated from the curriculum that are eager to meet you. We have such a loving community. I actually met someone. Who did I meet? I don't even remember. I was somewhere in the world, and they walked up to me and they said, I know who you are. You're the author of the Sophia Code. And I was like, yeah. And he said, well, you know, I didn't know about what to think about your work, but every single person I have ever met that studies the Sophia Code and is in your community are the nicest people I have ever met. So you must be a really good person. I was like, okay, good talk. Amazing. Like it just came out of nowhere. And it's really true. Like all of our team angels that help on social media, and we just feel so blessed that we get to support such amazing people. So if you opt into the package number 2, know that you're not doing this self-study course by yourself. Multidimensionally, my higher self and the Ascended Masters will be right by your side, and we also have an online forum where you can start to meet other people who are working through this life-changing material right there alongside you.
Hi, I'm busy typing away because so many people are asking, wait, how do I read more? How do I see more?
Oh.
And so, yeah, I just wanted to give the website out to everyone.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, thanks, everyone. So you can go to my website, kaiara.com, KAIARA.com, my first and my last name. And it's /special offer. Super easy. Nothing like fancy ascension-y about it. It's just special offer, /special offer. Wanted to make it easy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Before we jumped into the giveaway, Kaia, there was, so many people are asking about how do I open more? How do I sense more? But this woman, Anna, had an interesting question that is the flip side of that I hadn't ever seen before. She asked, is there a time limit to how long I could be working with an ascended master?
Is there a time limit?
Yeah, like if she's spending a lot of time with Mary Magdalene. And so she wanted to check in with you and see, like, how long is too long? Is
Never
that
too
even a
long.
thing? Yeah,
Never.
that's what I really wanted her to hear from you.
No, never. You can, if you're working with the Ascended Masters of the Sophia Dragon Tribe specifically, never too long. I can personally vouch for the frequency of this container and the frequency of these Ascended Masters. I can't vouch for Ascended Master teachings or Ascended Masters outside of this, but I can assure you that if you're working with Mary Magdalene through the frequency of this transmission, oh my God, it's endless. I think that's why I'm so fascinated by these Divine Feminine Christ mentors, because I've been working with them since childhood, and I'm still um, just as much of a delighted student of their presence as I've ever been. It's just, there's no end to the love. There's no end to the activation. There's no end to how powerful we can all become together through the divine love that we share in this communion of mentorship. It's really a gift. It's really a privilege, and it's really a get to. It's super exciting. What I will say though, what I did notice, especially in the 10 years leading up to before I had my experience with Sophia at Mount Shasta, what I did notice was that, well, not even notice, it was like, hello, here's what's happening now. They would kind of different key codes would come in and out for different periods of my time and really go deep with me for 6 months or a year. So for example, I was going super, super deep with Isis for about a year. And then Isis came to me and she said, I'm still right here with you, but I want you to focus on Green Tara for the next 6 months, like completely focus on what she has to teach you directly. And so it was a little bit awkward because I was so focused on Isis so intently, but then I had to learn, okay, how do I keep my communion consciously engaged with Isis while I also open up to my mentorship with Green Tara. And so what I do like about when that happens is that it teaches us, first of all, about how multidimensional we are, that even if we're focusing on one key code, we can still be mentoring with other key codes on other levels of our being and in our consciousness. And it also helps us loosen up our grip on reality and our attachments to how it's supposed to be. So, you know, the masters are called the masters for a reason. They know exactly what we need in every moment as directed by our higher self and Sophia God. And that's why it's such an amazing and never ending insightful journey to spend as much time with each of them as you feel guided to.
That is so beautiful. There are there's a lot coming through. So I want to check in with you because we have gone over the 2.5 hour mark.
Oh, have we? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
okay
yeah.
for a few more. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is a great question from Valerie. Valerie says, I received a download a couple of weeks ago about putting crystals in the soil to make an energy grid to help us use less chemicals in our food. Do you feel this is the next movement to do our part in helping the earth?
Working with crystal grids.
And I think the piece about putting them back into the earth, putting them into the soil.
Well, first of all, you can never go wrong with crystalline anything. I mean, you can store an unlimited amount of intentions that can be transmitted out of those crystals if that's how you program that crystal. So what you're really looking at there in your question is, I'm an earth angel. I've been given guidance to transmit healing to a specific crisis on this planet, and I need more than just me to do that. So you're literally encoding your crystals to become like multi arms of the goddess that you are, to spread your light and your intention and your prayer and your healing energy here on this planet. So I've been working. Crystals are one of my favorite light worker tools. I use them every day. They're all over my home. They're all programmed for specific intentions, and one of the highest teachings they're teaching us is that we are crystalline as well. That our true nature is absolutely crystalline, Sophia Christ consciousness. So what I would say is, as you program your crystals, if you program your crystals to resonate Sophia Christ consciousness, it can address more than just the crisis around the toxicity of our food. Sophia Christ consciousness is omniscient and multidimensional, and it can address multiple global crises simultaneously. So however you're being guided to program and plant crystals, please know that you're probably being guided not just by your higher self, but also by the other earth angels that care for the earth's environment, as well as your star family, because crystalline technology is also very connected to the star nation. So do I think that's the next movement? I think that's a movement that's been happening for a while now. And I'm so grateful that you've been tuning into it as a part of your earth angel magic. It's very powerful. Thank you so much for your question.
Here's a good nuts and bolts question. Lena asks, can you define your meaning of key code? Is it the frequency we attune to?
Great. No, key code is in chapter, we talk about the key, what is the definition of a key code in section 1 of the Sophia Code. I believe it's talked about in chapter 1, 2, 4, and 5. So if you look in chapter 2 of the Sophia Code, what's so interesting about the Sophia Code is it's talking about spiritual technology. Sometimes chapter 2 is one of the hardest chapters of the book for people, because it's really pointing to the science of spirituality. And so a key code represents your individual holographic fractal that your soul is of Sophia God's consciousness. So everyone that's ever been created is a hologram of Sophia's divine qualities. We've all been created sovereign and equal in that same divinity. Now, divinity in its expression, in the totality of its expression, has many divine attributes that we can choose to embody. We all know Kuan Yin, like one of her major embodiments was of the divine quality of compassion, unconditional compassion. So that would be one beautiful divine quality of your divinity that Kuan Yin happened to express in such a way that she became legendary for it. So when we say key code 5, Mary Magdalene's key code 5, what we're saying is all of the divine qualities of Sophia God that each and every one of us have were also simultaneously arranged to express the individual matrix of your soul. So those same divine qualities that were given to you and to me were uniquely encoded as a key code signature of who you are. So I guess in regards to how that question was phrased, you could consider it a resonance of your soul. It's the resonance of your unique key code. So everyone is a key code in the Sophia code cosmology. They gave me specific numbers as a teaching blueprint for these divine feminine Christ mentors. But ultimately it's really a number hung on, it's not about the number. What it's about is what we're saying is this is an individual fractal of Sophia, just like you and me. All of the same divine principles that Mary Magdalene embodied exist in you, just arranged differently, so that you could express the totality of the fingerprint of God that you are. And we all need, like, each of our unique encoded sequences of the key code that we are perfectly intersects with the key codes of other people, because we're all part of the one body of Sophia Christ. So you could think of each of us as a cell in the body of God. And so your unique cell, your unique soul is the key code that you are. And so what the Ascended Masters are walking us through in their initiations is awakening and activating your own key code, the knowledge of your key code, the knowledge of your uniquely sequenced divine genome that you're here to embody as an earth angel in your human incarnation. So that's the story about a key code. What's so unique about the Sophia Code cosmology is we're mentoring you in your own mastery. We're mentoring you in how to become your own ascended master. And in truth, in the future, we already are those beings. And now we're on the journey of remembering, how did we get there? Well, it's through our daily life.
Yeah, let's all be in the presence of our memory. I love how short that question was.
About that, Kim.
Oh yeah, go, yeah.
I think I receive about 5 emails a week of people telling me they're the incarnation of Mary Magdalene. And I just want to say on the record, you're not. That's her own key code. And you have your own key code. My prayer for everyone on this call is that everyone becomes so in the prayer of embodying their own key code. You have your own legend to become. You have your own legacy to birth and create through why you're here to serve. Get inside that prayer, because that's the most exciting prayer to the Ascended Masters that there is you becoming you. These beautiful Ascended Master key codes are here to activate your awareness of your own magnificent key code. That's what's the most exciting thing about this lifetime. It's not about the worshiping or the trying to be someone that you're not. It's just not like that. It's about be who you are. That's what's most exciting to all of us.
Beautiful. I love how short that question was, but how full on your answer was. So I just want to give a little love to our brother Brandon before we move into the giveaway.
Okay.
Because I feel like this question got answered, but he wrote in a couple times, and I know you're really wanting to connect.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, wait, sorry. The questions come in so fast, and then where I'm looking at scrolls way above. Brandon says, I had an amazing experience during the activation. I heard the angelic singing, then tribal chanting as old wounds shed away, and I let the light fully come in. Tears of love streamed down, claiming it fully through epic integration processes. I am new to the Sophia Code, but I'm a longtime seeker. I just moved to San Diego from Vermont. I want to know how to connect more in person with fellow seekers of the Sophia Dragon tribe while recovering financially from the move. How do I volunteer? How do I connect? Where? Much love, Brandon.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for writing in, Brandon. Okay, the best place to connect with other initiates in the Sophia Code is on our community online forum on Facebook. And like I said, We're very rapidly developing a Facebook free community membership site, which I'm really excited about. And then we have Conscious Life Expo coming up in Los Angeles, which actually isn't that far from you, Brandon. So I'll be speaking at Conscious Life Expo on February 22nd, offering a workshop. And we're going to have 2 amazing retreats this year, a healing conference, Divine Feminine Healing, that's going to be happening hopefully in August. Our intention is to have it in Colorado. We're still firming up those details. And we have a leadership conference and VIP immersive that's happening in Sedona, Arizona in October of this year. If for those of our international initiates on today's call, I'll also be at a book signing in Paris in November because the Sophia Code is being released in French this summer. So I couldn't be more happy about that France is the first, hosting internationally of the first Sophia Code translation. So we have a big year, and we also, and then we also have the one-day training for the Sophia Circle certification program that's going to be happening in conjunction with the Divine Feminine Healing Retreat. So even though this is an online certification program that's happening this year, we will have an in-person one-day optional training for just a little bit more to opt in for that. It's going to be very special. And so the best way is to start online. We also have a Heaven on Earth prayer collective that happens once a month. That's a free online offering that I host once a month through the Zoom platform. And there's just so many initiatives in it used to be called our book club, but we're moving it into our global community forum. And like I said, we're building that new membership site as well. So there's lots to look forward to in 2019. And one of the things that was really deeply touching for me in last year's live conferences was witnessing how many powerful friendships happened for so many people that traveled around the world to meet at our conferences. It was really touching.
Thank you. There is so much happening, and it's such a lively community. That's one of the things that is, it just opens my heart every time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Seriously,
right.
No doubt.
It is almost at the top of our 3rd hour together,
Okay.
and I just really want to be respectful for people who need to leave work or the park that they listen to the activation in. Some people asked if they can listen again, and of course you can listen to the activation again
as many times as you want.
Yeah. Everybody, they'll be getting the replay in the next several hours, or at least by tomorrow morning, depending on what's happening with the server.
Yes.
And I just wanted to give the website out one more time, Kaia, before we give away 2 beautiful pendants.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in these really special offers that we have for 2019, you can go to my website, kaiara.com/special offer. Super easy. And it's all laid out there for you. And if you have questions about the 2019 certification, no worries. We can hop on the phone with you. We're happy to actually talk to you over the phone or answer any questions through emails. So just know that we're here for you in your decision-making process, whether it's about the certification program this year or even about the other 2 packages. We're happy to walk you through your buying decision. It's just not a problem. We love to connect with you. We're here to support you in your choices.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we have the first winner, and I texted you the name.
Oh, you did?
Everybody needs to be live to win. So let's see if,
Okay, let's see who is it. Oh my gosh. Jennifer Chapas? Is this the Jennifer? I think I know who this is. Okay.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
Jennifer,
really
you can
excited.
raise your
it's
hand.
Funny because I was really feeling her during the transmission and her connection to her star family. Congratulations, Jennifer. I'm so happy for you. May Mary Magdalene's pendant bless you all year long. And then we have someone I've never met in our container, and it's Linda Birch. So I'm just getting the chills all over my body right now. Welcome, Linda, to the container. I hope you love the Mary Magdalene pendant. This was definitely Can you confirm that they're on live, Kim? Is this all
Yeah,
good?
I can confirm that Jennifer's live because she raised her hand. So Jennifer,
Okay.
what we
Okay,
would
good.
love for you to,
Okay.
yeah, Jennifer, what you need to do is email contact@kaiara.com, subject line I won or something. Um, and what what we need from you is the physical address to send the pendant. And two people from the team actually will be in touch with you to tie
Oh, I see
everything
Linda
together.
too.
You see Linda? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Linda, you
Yeah,
got your pendant. Woo!
yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. So Linda, same, please email contact@kaiara.com. Two team members will be being in touch with you to make sure that everything gets delivered in the very best way. And how amazing. I'm so glad they were both still here.
I know, me too. Thanks, ladies, for hanging in there. That's just amazing. It's gonna really bless you up. So, I'm hearing. And for those of you who are, there's coupon codes for the Mary Magdalene pendant in all of the packages. And if you just want to get the Mary Magdalene package or pendant, you can email us directly at jewelryorders@kaira.com, and we'll be happy to send you the catalog. You can order it in solid brass or sterling silver. So just wanted to throw that in. Don't worry if you didn't win. You can still get the Mary Magdalene pendant.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. To bring everything into a beautiful completion, Kaia, do you have closing words for
Oh,
us?
I would just say, first of all, what an honor it's been to spend this time with each of you. Um, the opportunity to serve and to support your angelic light is such an answered prayer in my life. And I know that each of you on this call have a very deep prayer to also fulfill your earth angel mission. And I just feel so honored that um, what's coming through me from the Sophia Dragon Tribe can actually deeply support you and your divine purpose and being seen with your angel wings up in 2019. This is a really important year for us to work together to spread the good news of the Sophia Code, the truth of the sovereign divinity of humanity, and to have a lot of fun doing it, which is what this container is encoded for. I'm just really grateful that we're here and then we get to do this together finally, through the reconciliation and the creative genius of the divine feminine Christ movement. It's just, wow, what a dragon ride. It's the best dragon ride in the universe, to be serving this kind of a ministry. So I welcome you from my heart to yours. I welcome you into this container. I welcome you deeper into this mystery school. It's an honor for me to support you, and it's a privilege to be here with you. Thank you for spending this time together today. It's really just the beginning for many of us, and I'm so excited for what's ahead. 2019 is our year to shine. So thank you. Namaste. And thank you, Kim, for all of your facilitation. And thank you to all the team angels. And if you have any questions about anything today, please feel free to reach out. Anything at all, just reach out to us at contact@kaiara.com. We'll be there for you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kaia. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Magdalene, blessings. Good night, everyone.